You need a companion. This is the spot to do so here all night long. Full Joe show. I already see New England sports guys in there. He is ready to go tonight. A lot to get into. I got a lot of topics, maybe not all sports. We'll have some fun throughout the night. Joe me the money. I got weekend bets, a ton of college basketball games, some soccer as well. NBA's got some skills competitions, I know, in a big Four Nations final. Big game this week, too, with Canada and USA. So a lot on the table. Again, the phone number 617-779-0985. We'll start with the Red Sox tonight. I get some Patriots thoughts as well regarding the draft. I know Greg Bedard came up with a few suggestions for the Patriots on what they should do with their fourth overall pick. Bill Belichick, he is he's doing a lot. He's doing a lot of things. And today he came up with a few others that I thought were very interesting. I'll have that for you as well. Brad Stevens news, everything on the table tonight. Let's lead it off with the Red Sox, of course, that people are still talking about. There's not a lot of problems for the Red Sox heading into the spring. It's always been about, will someone be healthy, or what's the contract situation of someone, where Alex Cora is going into his final year. There's just been a lot of concerns entering the season. This year, though, are there really concerns? And I get it. You can look at, is their pitching strong enough? How's their bullpen going to be? I don't even mean that. I mean, it sounds like everyone's in shape. Everyone's ready to go. There's expectations there. So there's not many problems heading into the season. But we did hear today Brian Barrett and Cutter Crawford might be a bit behind, and they'll probably start work on Sunday or Monday, but nothing to be concerned about. When it comes to Jarren Duran, yesterday he had no issues with the arbitration process. I thought that was something that would be brought back up, or maybe he would hold it over the team, or he would look at it differently. I do think that Jarren Duran's that new superstar that sometimes does overreact to the fans, does sometimes get in his own head. He's been pretty public about facing a lot of challenges himself, but I was curious if that's something that was difficult for him. Rafael Devers, he was been there for the most part. He's gone back to see his family. He's going to show back up soon, but see the third baseman, that's something that's still being debated at this time, and I wonder how he does feel about the Bregman addition. Rafael Devers was a guy last year that was, through an interpreter, begging ownership to improve the club. Well, isn't Rafael Devers not playing third base and helping out the team elsewhere is making the team better? So I just wanted to throw that out there. I wonder if there is a concern for Rafael Devers. And just when it comes to the finances, because it always does with the Boston Red Sox, they're slightly over the tax for the first time. They're deferring payments is helping everybody in Major League Baseball. But I'll get into some of the contract details when it comes to Alex Bregman as well. The opening take brought to you by ESPN Bet Sportsbook. ESPN Bet Sportsbook. We have them as a new sponsor. We have Celsius as our headline sponsor. We're rocking and rolling here at 98.5 The Sports Hub, and I think the Red Sox might be rocking and rolling right now. But I have a few nits to pick, right? This is what we do here. Overall, I'm excited about the Red Sox. I am. I think they're a playoff contender. I think they're serious about making the playoffs. So I've said all that yesterday. I'll show it again tonight. The Red Sox have restored their status as a big market team after going out and signing Alex Bregman to a 3-year, $120 million contract. I saw that yesterday. I believe it was Underdog, the guys over at Underdog. The Red Sox have restored their status as a big market team. Is it truly restored? That's still something that I question. I like the move that they did. I'm glad that they're starting to play ball. I'm glad that they're not sitting tight like they did with Heimblum. Craig Breslow talked a lot about doing things. They did it. They improved the team. But is it truly restored? That's another question. So, are there additional moves that are on the way? Do they make big-time moves at the deadline? Do they want to go near that next threshold? So is it truly restored? Also, with the addition of a Gold Glove third baseman, who is willing to change positions? Do we know that works? Do we know that he can just move over to second base and it works? And, my take is Devers should embrace the DH role. We'll get into that coming up in a little bit. Rafael Devers should be embracing being a DH. He's got shoulder issues. He's not the greatest defender. He's in year 2 of a big-time contract. We'll get to that in a minute here. I get nits to pick here. And when it comes to Red Sox departures, who hurts? Tyler O'Neill, pipes, the big arms, home runs. Nick Pavetta's gone. How about Kenley Jansen? Is he going to hurt? Is there a bona fide closer on this team? I mean, there's 2 guys back there, but because they have 2 guys, do they even have one? They lost Chris Martin, who was a really good bullpen guy. But their additions, Garrett Crochet, improvement, no doubt. Young pitcher with term, right? Walker Buehler, who's won a World Series, still has to show his health, but for the most part, upgrade. Alex Bregman, upgrade. Winner. There's a lot of winners here. A lot of guys that have beat the Yankees as well, which is something that I like. The other addition is Aroldis Chapman. I don't know what he is. I know Chris Russo's down on him. I know the guy can throw a lot, and I know he can throw a lot of walks. So we ask, are things restored here? I don't know. Do I think that they've improved this offseason? Absolutely. But are they better? And I do think that a lot of their players should take the next step, right? Ceddanne Rafaela, Wilyer Abreu, maybe even Connor Wong as well. Tristan Casas certainly should. Jarren Duran, he better. There's a lot banking on some progress here. Do the Red Sox have the right people in place for these guys to progress to the next level? To become all-stars, to become true everyday players? These are the questions I have with this year's team. I did want to bring up something regarding Jason Varitek that I thought was pretty interesting. He's now going to be working with not just the catchers this year. He'll be working with the whole entire pitching staff with how to prepare. And, they made changes to Jason Varitek's title back in November, but they're significant. And I was reading this today from Mass Live. But it turns out this shift for Jason Varitek, unlike past years, he's not going to be spending as much time working with just catchers on a daily basis. They have given over that to a guy named Quinn. I don't know who that is. But he's going to be doing a more diverse role, spend more time in other facets of the day-to-day operations while remaining an integral part of the pregame pitching meetings and during the regular season. So Tech's going to be in every single meeting when they go to face other players, with each pitcher, with the staff. So when pitchers are going up against the team, Varitek's going to be the one in there that's going to be working with everybody, with the pitchers, with the bullpen guys, the catchers as well. I kind of like this. I thought this was somewhat of an upgrade to the roster because he's been linked to managerial openings, right? Seattle was interested. I know San Francisco was interested as well. But he wants to do more. And now he's going to be a big part of the whole entire pitching process. As a guy who knows the game, guy who's won, he's been around too. He's not one of these old guys who's been gone for a while and comes back in. He's been there. Now he's a part of the whole entire operation and how they prepare for games. That seems like something that's an upgrade. Hey, Brian Bayo worked out with Pedro Martinez all offseason long. And this is why I want to get into Rafael Devers. He has spent time with David Ortiz. I know Ortiz has been pretty vocal about some of the guys not reaching out. Like, the Red Sox former stars are there to help. I think Ortiz wants to help. But if Rafael Devers wants to help his career and his team, he should think about embracing the designated hitter role just like David Ortiz did. We'll get into that coming up here on the other side. We got a full show tonight. It's Valentine's Day. I know some people are kicking around. I wonder if this is the night where, you're in the car with the lady And they're like, yeah, honey, you can listen to whatever you want tonight. Or do you just go like straight Usher? I don't know what you do tonight. Or are there people in their feels? Well, we'll be in our feels all night long here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. Love is in the air. Love is in the air. I'm Joe Murray here on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
You're listening to Joe Murray on 98. Booger and Maz are just his pregame.
They've been getting wholesale deals for years.
It's Joe Murray on the Sports Hole.
See, 84 people watching on YouTube. So that lets me know that at least there's people out there tonight. I mean, look at Neil. He's shaved. He must be going out tonight, right? He looks good. I know nobody can see him, but he looks good. So everybody must be going out while we are here tonight putting in that work. Tom G, what's up? Asparagus Crony, huh? I like that name. Einbein, what's up, my man? These are all the people hanging out in chat tonight. Some people get some pretty cool nicknames in there. I like it. Thoughts on Rafael Devers becoming the designated hitter? I'm in. Listen, do I think that Devers can't hold down the position for an entire season? I don't believe it. I think he can play there. I personally think that if they just make the old swapperoonie, Bregman at second and Devers at third, I still think they'll be good. But you are asking a Gold Glove third baseman to change positions, but you didn't ask him. He was willing to do it. At least that's what the reports are. So my take is Rafael Devers should embrace being a designated hitter. If you can embrace being a designated here, like imagine that. There's some places where it's like the DH, they don't care who it is. But here in Boston, DHs, like there's a role for you. Like JD Martinez of late, he fit right into that thing. David Ortiz held that down for years. So, like around the league, Devers, yeah, I know DHs don't get paid the money he does. I don't want to hear that. I don't care about the money. But he's got bad shoulders. He's, they want him to be really good. He's in the second year of his career, of this big long-term deal. Like, trying to get the most out of him now, at least at the front of the deal. But not only has Bregman been a third baseman for most of his career, he's been very good at it. He won the Gold Glove last year. The Red Sox, of course, have Devers at the hot corner. And, there's the Tristan Casas stuff out there, right? He was third in the Rookie of the Year 2 years ago. Masataka Yoshida. He's got 3 years left and $90 million. He's projected to be the DH. Devers right now is the face of the Red Sox franchise. He's still only 28 years old. 5+ years, his defense has failed to improve. So I think he can still stick there, but can he play there much longer? I think there's a lot of mixed opinions on that. There was talk all offseason long about potentially moving Rafael Devers to either first base or designated hitter. And, I mentioned Casas and Yoshida because, one of those guys would be the ones on the move, right? And it's probably Yoshida, but, there's money still on that thing. Cora and Breslow were adamant that Devers was not moving from third base. I mean, they've been pretty consistent about that. But now, with Bregman in the fold, would they consider it? And the best reason for having Devers switch positions is that, well, he's the best third baseman on the team. Right? I mean, you could probably argue there's been better third basemen than Devers over the last couple of years anyways. But moving Devers away from the hot corner could also take less toll on his body. He played discomfort all last year. I keep mentioning those shoulders. His offense was hampered. The final 2 months of the year, he was not good. And they were pressed numerous times this winter about the possibility of Devers coming off third base. I mentioned Breslow and Cora were asked about it a bunch, and they had no plans to do so. On Tuesday, Cora indicated that the subject might have been broached at least to Devers recently in hypotheticals. His quote was, "We've been talking about everything from what we're trying to accomplish roster-wise to what we need to accomplish for him. And I think right now the main thing is not positions or additions. It's for him to have a healthy camp. He had a good offseason as far as the shoulder. He's in a good spot." A couple of things on Bregman quickly. He's known for his athleticism. So I don't think the transition's going to be that bad. A lot of scouts say the same thing. He has played second base 9 times in his career. He started there twice. Cora was the bench coach with him with the Astros in 17, and they used to discuss scenarios where Bregman moving to second base at the winter meetings just about 2 months ago. He mentioned, but back in 2017, they had at least had talks about it, and he said he was comfortable doing it. But going to third base, it worked for Bregman. Got the Gold Glove. So can he play in the middle of the infield? The reason why I don't make the move off Devers right now is you don't know how long Bregman's going to be here for. That's just a fact. Why take the guy off third base now? Have the guy adjust, see if he can play second, and go from there. If it works out, he opts back in, you keep it together for another year. But moving Devers off of third without a long-term plan, I don't love the idea. Late in games, though, if you want to put Hamilton at second or Grissom at second and move Bregman over, I'm in. They have a lot of versatility now, something they didn't have 3 days ago. But the Casas thing's still there, right? Isn't eligible for free agency until 29. They could get a pretty big piece for him. Dylan Cease was one of the guys that was linked. The Mariners had interest in him as well. Trading Yoshida, I know he hasn't lived up to the price tag, but that was a Chaim Bloom move. And I wonder if Breslow would be willing to move on from him. Another left-hander, right? But they would have to pick up remaining salary, and I don't know if they're ready to do that. All I'm saying is David Ortiz was a DH, and he did just fine here, and I think Rafael Devers could do it too. Your thoughts at 617-779-0985. Skaz, you got anything on this, man? This is going to be a tractor pull tonight, I think. I'm glad that people are hanging out on chat, though. Thank you.
Yeah, Joe, I'm with you. I think Rafael Devers should be the DH if you want the Boston Red Sox to be, the best possible baseball team they can be this year. I think they're a better team with Devers at DH and Bregman at third. I just think it makes too much sense. I know Devers, has that pride thing where he wants to play the field, but just like you said, David Ortiz was a DH here. DH is it's a position in the league. It exists for a reason. He could, excel at it, take care of himself a little bit more, not worry about the shoulder and injuries he's acquired in the field. So yeah, I'm with you that Devers should be the DH. I think it makes them a better team, whether that means they move Yoshida or whatever. And I like Yoshida. I think his contract thing's a little overblown.
I think he beefed up a little bit too this offseason to become more of a power hitter.
Yoshida was one of the only guys that hit last year consistently, and he
started slow.
Yeah.
But, yes.
He's adjusting to the MLB schedule, all that.
Exactly.
He's a professional hitter. And his contract's like $18 a year, $19 million a year.
Yeah.
I don't think it's that absurd. It gets lauded by Red Sox Twitter as this, albatross that's holding them back. I know it's not a great contract, but 18, 19 million for a professional hitter, you're the Boston Red Sox. You should be able to afford that contract. And if you really want to move the guy, eat some of the money if that's what it comes to.
The mistakes on this team, though, I wish I call them mistakes. They have someone in the system ready to go, but it's probably not ready to go because of service time. Trevor Story, you just hope can stay healthy, but his contract, woof. The Devers contract isn't pretty either. And the Yoshida contract, it's not that bad at all compared to everybody else. I don't know. I'm interested in the Red Sox, man. Like I told you, Matt McCarthy brought his glove yesterday. I talked about it the other day. I thought about playing wiffle ball. Up on the roof here, Sketch. I think we can get some wind up there, huh?
I was gonna say, Joe, it's that wind driving home last night was
oh my God. For real, right? I'm not joking. That wind last night driving home was moving my vehicle, like all over the place. And it was funny because people's trash barrels were all over the street today.
Yeah, I had to avoid a couple on my drive home last night when I got into the neighborhood.
That was wild, man. That was windy as hell, man. So what else we got on deck tonight? I know Brian Barrett's going to join us from The Ringer. I went on his podcast yesterday. He's the stat man. He had a bunch of stats. Something
that made me laugh earlier today, Joe, is you email me a rundown, every day, and my email provider has started doing AI summaries
Yes.
of the emails. And so today being Valentine's Day, Joe sent me the rundown, and he also sent me an email full of love songs / some sad songs for tonight. And the AI messaging of this, the description was, Joe Murray has sent you a list of sad songs ranging from Adam Sandler to Whitney Houston to Taylor Swift. So we're going to cover the map tonight, Joe.
What did it say about the rundown for the show?
Let's see.
The one the other night was pretty good.
Let's see. The Red Sox significant acquisition of Alex Bregman and other player moves are discussed, along with the insights on Rafael Devers' potential DH shift and the Patriots draft strategy.
Wow. There's no way I would have wrote it like that, right?
No.
You know what's funny? Recruiters out there, y'all must be like, this person used AI. I told you when we were writing articles, Skaz, people were like, "Oh, your grammar sucks," and I'm like, "Well, at least you know it's me." Right?
Yeah, we can't hide the grammar.
So I'd rather be authentic than artificial, because there ain't a lot of intelligence over on this side. But I'll tell you, there's a lot of authentic here. Well, happy Valentine's Day to everybody. Yep, you heard it. We got sad songs, more sad songs. Hey, it's supposed to be a day of love, but really, it's really a day to it's like Singles Awareness Day, right? I mean, I'm actually impressed that we have 104 people watching on YouTube. Skaz, I thought tonight would have been we're going to be talking about poop.
No, Joe, that was last night.
that was last night. Oh, man. How do we mix poop and Valentine's Day? Well, we'll get to the headlines first. And there is some Patriots news. And, of course, you want to get in on the Red Sox stuff, you certainly can. The phone number is 617-779-0985. J-Buck, what's up? Hey, Josh, our intern's in there. The Glizzy God is also hanging out. KB, Dualbox, Tom G, they're all hanging out. Skaz is here as well. I'm Joe Murray, 98.5, the Sports Hub.
Sports Hub headlines, presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
The Red Sox saw the arrival of Alex Bregman at camp today. Of course, the talk is he's willing to move over to second base. He was embraced by Craig Breslow and Alex Cora today. There is some NFL news. The Dolphins have released running back Raheem Mostert. quick, smelly.
It's Joe Murray on the Sports Hub.
Whether it's Abdul Carter or Travis Hunter or Cam Ward or Shadur Sanders, that somebody is there at 4 that somebody else wants. And the Patriots can trade down a little bit, pick up a little bit of capital, and really focus on the lines like we talked about last time. They gotta eat their vegetables, and they gotta beef up the lines, because if you can't protect the quarterback, if you can't run the ball effectively, if you can't stop the run, if you can't get after the quarterback, you got nothing. I don't care what you have on the outside. I don't care what flashy players you have. If you can't do those things, you're not going to do anything. And that's where the rebuild, the retooling of this Patriots team needs to start. You got to prioritize protecting Drake May and giving him a running game that other people are going to respect. So I want somebody to come up for number 4 and trade back a little bit.
I'm defensive line pass rusher. That's where I stand for everybody that's going to ask me, because it happens. I went into the store the other day. Hey, Joe, what do you think the Patriots are going to do? Hey, Joe, what do you got for a bet tonight? Somebody asked me what I had for a bet tonight. I told them Princeton over Brown. So there you go, Skets. Princeton over Brown. By the way, Joe me the money. 9:35 tonight. I think I went. I lost the Chiefs, and I lost the soccer game that I thought was on a certain time, but it wasn't. I thought I went like 4-2 for some reason. I think I did. Anyways, defense. I think Bedard said eat their vegetables. No, get some beef. Beef my Valentine. They need beef and talent. Beef and talent. I think I heard a trade in there, though. I thought I heard him say that. Hey, if you can move down a couple. I'm sorry. But just be a Patriots fan for 1 second. What? All right. I take myself out for being unbiased, okay? I'm going to take it out for a second. If you hear that the Patriots traded back on the number 4 pick, you would be pissed. You'd be so mad that they traded back. Oh, so someone else could get a quarterback you trade back? Out. You got the 4th pick. You could have had the 1st pick. This one bothers me. Yeah, but what if they trade back 2 spots and endorse No. No. Get the best defensive guy available, or get the best lineman that you like. No. How about you, Skaz?
Yeah, I'm with you. I think if they have the 1st pick, this is a totally different discussion. Trading back from 1 to 3 or 1 to 4 is in my opinion very different than trading back from 4 to 7 or something like that. We've been told this whole offseason heading into this draft how weak this draft class is, that this is not a great draft class, and not just quarterbacks. I know people like to focus on that this isn't a great quarterback draft class, but just in general, the top end talent in a lot of NFL drafts, apparently, according to experts, is not there in this one. I heard. I wish I could remember his name, the guy that was on Toucher and Hardy. I can't remember if it was earlier this week, but they had a draft guy on, and he said the same thing. He said that this draft is not as strong as some recent drafts. So the Patriots are in a spot where they need best player available. And the trenches, I think it's the trenches, offensive line, defensive line, that's where they need to start. I'm not someone that thinks they need to go after Travis Hunter. I know that's a splashy move. That's something fans want. Maybe, sell some more jerseys than an offensive lineman. But I think they need to build from the inside out. They have Gonzalez. I'm not overly worried about the secondary when you need someone that can, protect the quarterback or get to the quarterback. So for me, that number 4 pick is valuable because you need top-end talent on this roster. You don't have it. And hoping that top-end talent is still there at 7 or 8 is not a position I think the Patriots are in. They can't be hoping for talent. They need to identify it and draft it.
So this is where I'm at for everyone that wants to know, because it's going to be going on for a while. Forget about number 4 pick. What do I think the Patriots should do? This is who I have. Abdul Carter 1. Mason Graham 2. Will Campbell 3. Travis Hunter 4. That's my lineup. I don't think Hunter's going to fall. I don't. Like right now, if you ask me, I think Abdul Carter goes number 1 to Tennessee. I think Travis Hunter goes to the Browns at 2. I think the Giants take Shedeur Sanders. I really do. Now, there's some Matt Stafford talk out there right now that could potentially be on the table. But I think Will Campbell falls to the Patriots at 4. It's between Campbell and Graham. I think Tyler Warren could be one of those guys too? Yes. But, man, you can't draft a tight end 4. This whole talk about trading back, though, I'm out. Out. Let's hear from you guys at 617-779-0985. We talked about the Red Sox earlier. Mike's got a thought in Cumberland. What's up, Mike?
Hey, what's up, Big Joe?
How you doing?
All right. Hey, listen, I'd like to preface my Devers talk by saying 2 things about baseball. I think the worst thing that's happened to professional baseball in a long time is A, the opt-out clause, and B, the deferred money like Los Angeles is doing all over the place. But with that, because this is just to bring on to your point about Bregman, that he could leave after this year. And I hate the opt-out. But Devers is always hurt. He's breaking down in midseason. He should be a DH. If Bregman plays third, because they have more young talent coming in at second, I think if Bregman did leave, I think Maya is a backup option at third base, because that's what Cora and Breslow, mostly Cora, was talking about. Maya learning a few different positions besides shortstop going into this season.
Yeah, I don't disagree with a lot of your takes, Mike. Here's what I like about the deferred money, though. Like, you can defer the money. It's their money. Like, if you want to manipulate how it is, like, that's on them. You know what I mean? Like, the Red Sox paid Manny Ramirez, I think, up until last year for his big contract.
Yeah, but I just think it's so huge, the disparity in, like, Los Angeles right now. Can just get all these players because they can stay under the luxury cap or be over it just a little bit.
But they are going to pay them. They are going to pay them.
Well, eventually. I mean, it's going to cost them more money deferring the contract.
What's the difference between paying them now and later?
Well, I think it destroys all the mid-market teams. I think it destroys...
Well, no, they should just pay more money.
What do you mean?
Just give them more money, these small market teams. Like, small market teams spent money this year. The A's don't even have a home and they spent money.
That's true.
Just the other team should just spend more. The problem is nobody wants to go to those teams. Like the Detroit Tigers, right? Bregman could have got 6 or 7 years. Yeah, they could have deferred.
I'm surprised he didn't go there.
What I'm saying, though, is he didn't want to go there because Boston still has juice as a big market. And they could have deferred all the money, too. But he would have got 7 guaranteed years and stuck in Detroit.
Right.
Instead, he'll get 40 this year, and if he likes
That's crazy.
I'll get another 40 next year. Hey, 2 years, $80 million? I'll do that. That's not a bad deal. So I don't think it's hurting the game. I think it's giving teams that want to be shrewd more opportunities to build a culture for people to want to go there. And since you're at the threshold, you can defer the money. Imagine if the Celtics could defer the money to the next owner. That'd be great. We're crossing sports here. I know some people don't like that. Justin, happy Valentine's Day, bro.
Happy Valentine's Day, Joe. I just want to talk about Rafael Devers' defense. I don't think he's a really good defensive third baseman. I think he's better off at DH. And I think they should put Bregman at third and leave Devers at DH and trade Masataka Yoshida, Joe. I think Yoshida's a bunch of dead money, and he's not really that good of a player.
Oh, I think he's better than everyone thinks. I do. And in this year, I think he's beefed up a little bit. He's got some muscles.
I'm sorry, Joe. I just feel I just kind of feel.
I'm not going to tell you how to feel. It's Valentine's Day.
Yes.
Today's the day to feel, bro.
Yes.
Hey,
yeah.
I know what I think would be great tonight, Justin.
What's up, Joe?
Call Monty's and have them make you a nice little pizza like a heart shape. What do you think?
Well, I just had a sub, but I'm good.
Well, you know what? Tomorrow, be like, hey, Monty's, I want a pizza shaped in a heart.
Okay, Joe.
Later, buddy. Thanks, Justin. You know, everybody tonight. What about bouquets of chicken fingers? By the way, I should tease this, but I'm not gonna. Somebody hit me up about a Milliken Moon. For those that aren't aware, last night we had Tyler Milliken on the show. He told me that he likes the mozzarella moons from the 99. And he told me what he does is he takes 2 mozzarella moons and puts a 99 buffalo finger in the middle of it and uses it like a sandwich. Somebody hit me up today and said, "Hey, Joe, currently making a Milliken Moon." I said, "Please send me the video." So I am awaiting the video. But I think we got ourselves a Milliken Moon, baby. All right. It was a hockey game last night. Everybody was happy about it. Oh, and I'll tease this. I know who will be singing the national anthem in Boston. I have confirmation. And I think that any anthem that is sung in Boston should be cheered. I got a thought on that. We'll do that on the other side here. I'm Joe Murray here on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Don't go anywhere. There's more Joe Murray. More Joe Murray. Solak and Bertrand get you through the midday. Joe Murray gets you right through the night.
I actually spoke with women today.
On the Sports Hub.
It's back to Eichel. Gets a return. Orensky shoots. Score! On the rebound, the second on the power play from Matthew Tkachuk.
Wanted to ask you about the fan reaction tonight to the national anthem, and how does that kind of fuel you guys? How are you using it as a group, both for Brady? You deflected there, both Brady and Matthew, please.
I didn't like it.
Keith?
Okay. Well, yeah. He's local guy. Good guy.
Local guy, good guy.
Good guy. All right. Take real quick. Don't boo the national anthem. And here's the other take. Don't boo the Canadian anthem. And we've been down this road before, so I don't have to tell you guys this. But it's been confirmed. Todd Angeli is going to be singing the national anthem at the Garden for the Four Nations final.
As he should be.
He should be. I texted him. I go, hey, man, you the guy? Yep, I'm the guy. I go, okay, cool. I didn't have to tell him. We didn't even need to say it to each other. But you guys know what's up. When the Canadian anthem comes on, whatever comes on, anthem comes on, you cheer it. You cheer it. And I'm sorry. Like, I was pissed when people booed Adam Vinatieri when he came back from the Colts. I was pissed. I was yelling at everybody in the stands. I was at that game, too. But anyways, booing anthems, like, listen, if it's wrestling, you know, and the Iron Sheik's coming out, like, the Iron Sheik's doing that to troll all of you, okay? like that's the point, right? Like, when Bret Hart came out with the Canadian flag and Shawn Michaels didn't want anything to do with it, that was part of the script. Hello? This is sports. It's real life. Like, come on. Booing the national anthem. I'm sorry. And you know what sucks is the games have been competitive. Well, I shouldn't say competitive. They've been good. The whole thing's been good. And that's what we're talking about. Well, I'm talking about. So I just wanted to just set it up to when they come to Boston, you cheer because you're from Boston. Anything else to add there, Skaz?
No, I'm with you, Joe. Don't boo the anthem. Seems pretty simple. Whatever your feelings are, no politics on the night show. But the hockey players on the ice have nothing to do with anything other than the hockey game on the ice. It's the national anthem. You don't boo it. It's kind of unbelievable that we even have to say that, in my opinion. Don't boo the national anthem. That's all.
Just don't boo don't boo anybody's anthem. How about that?
And I don't believe there will be in Boston. I don't think that's going to happen.
They're too smart to do it. Anyways, 617-779-0985. We're going to talk to Brian Barrett in the second hour here. He is from The Ringer. I was on his podcast yesterday. I'm sure he's got a lot more takes. What did I have for 7 o'clock tonight? Oh, Jay King. Did you see this? Payton Pritchard. Nice little write-up on him. Remember the old burn book from Mean Girls? Looks like Payton Pritchard might have one of his own. We'll tell you all about that coming up next. I'm Joe Murray here on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
From the Town Fairtime Studios.
This is your home for every Patriots game.
Into the end zone, trying to keep the play alive. Falling down, he throws to the end zone. It's got it! Touchdown!
WBZFM and HD Boston. 98.5 The Sports Hub.
A Beasley Media Group station.
Essential Sports Hub headline. Presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
Whoa! Announcer man. Our Red Sox saw the arrival of Alex Bregman today over at camp, giving love, giving hugs. It's Valentine's Day, everybody. The Dolphins did not show love to Raheem Mostert, Durham Smith, or Kendall Fuller today because they've all been, released. I almost said arrested. Nope, released. Broncos are hiring former Saints coach Darren Rizzi. He's going to be their special teams coordinator. That guy's all fired up. Hey, we have a note on Brad Stevens. I saw this from Jeff Goodman a little while ago. Celtics president of basketball operations Brad Stevens is not a candidate for the Indiana job. I thoroughly appreciate being a Celtic and love the people I get to work with every day, Brad Stevens said. And the Four Nations face-off, USA-Canada. They play the next game. Headlines, they are brought to you by Yankee Custom. They have everything you need to outfit your truck, van, or SUV. Yankee Custom has the largest retail inventory in New England with locations across New England. I feel like that's redundant. YankeeCustomTruck.com. I'm Joe Murray, and I like chocolate.
Listen to it, laugh at it, get mad at it, agree with it, argue about it. It is Boston Sports. Boston Sports. And it is all we do. 98.5.
Brian McKnight has another song called One Last Cry. That's the one I wrote.
Yes.
That one's sad. Because it's one last cry.
The reason that was my first response, Joe, is because I drive by a billboard every night on my way home for Brian McKnight. He's appearing somewhere locally soon. He must be. But yes, I drive by a Brian McKnight billboard almost every night.
He's smooth.
Oh, yeah.
And dude, I think he helped write a lot of songs. Him and Babyface, for real, dude. Babyface wrote all the Boyz II Men songs. Babyface had bangers, too. I think he helped Tony Braxton as well, who I think we have some songs from as well on that list. But, so it's funny. I have a group chat with Bird and a couple other guys. And so, all right, guys, actually, I'll tell you exactly what I wrote. And some of these didn't make the cut. So I feel like I should, I hope I'm not calling you guys out. Because, well, whatever. They don't care. Bird doesn't care. But I said to the guys, I go, hey, what's a song that really puts you in your feels? And Bird goes, that Brian McKnight song. Do I ever cross your mind? And I go, Skaz said that as well about Brian McKnight. And then one of the other guys just goes, Aaron Hall, I miss you. Oh, man, I don't know if you're, that was a 90s deep cut. That one was very good. This one, someone else goes, One Sweet Day, Mariah Carey. And I went, oh, that's making the list. Goo Goo Dolls' Black Balloon is what this is my friend's chat. It's like nobody, no fear telling me what they like to Collective Soul. What else? Oh, all right, I'll save some of these ones, but that's just a couple that I got in the old chat today, but we got songs all night for you guys. 617-779-0985. We're also in the chat as well. KBS, Babyface was talented. Man, hey, Jay King of The Athletic had a sit down with Payton Pritchard. This is what I got out of it. Payton Pritchard keeps a journal. He writes every day. He has a burn book. Like Mean Girls. Listen, Payton Pritchard, for those who really know about him, as a freshman in college, he won a national championship. He was a big part of it. He had to stay in college for 4 years. He's a great basketball player. He has deficiencies, obviously his size, but he might be one of the best shooters in the NBA. He's one of the best ball handlers in the NBA. His biggest deficiency is his size. But he's been able to hang around in this league. He's now up for Sixth Man of the Year. When they need him to be the point guard, he can do it. When they need him to score and be microwave offense, he can do it. But I'm sure there's a lot of people that have closed doors in his face. I mean, I've seen his girlfriend post videos of him playing on the playground the night before a game at the park against kids. This dude loves to ball, right? He does that summer league every single year and scores like 100 points. It took Payton Pritchard 4 seconds to become a finals legend. The previous 23 minutes and 56 seconds armed him with all the motivation he needed to break this season. And, when I think of him in his career, he's persevered. He's a great basketball player, I'm telling you. This is a guy that got drafted at the end of the draft. A lot of people thought, maybe he can help you out early on. Nope, he's getting better. This isn't someone talking about Payton Pritchard because he's on the Celtics. I think Payton Pritchard's a story about guys who in college have success early on, but continue to progress, continue to get better. After the NBA Finals ended, Payton Pritchard sat with a pen and a paper to write down his lessons from the series. His father, Terry, had long ago suggested journaling to organize his ideas. Pritchard has 5 or 6 notepads, all filled with various thoughts. He will jot workout plans. He will note how his body feels. He'll map out routines and regimens to use. He'll return to the pages and reflect on his progress. Quote, it's easy to write down your thoughts and to keep it up there. I think the hardest thing about sports for anyone that's played at a high level is it's mental. Like, I think baseball, in my opinion, is such a mental sport. And you can also relate it to life. At least that's the way that I grew up when I played sports, with baseball in particular. When a ground ball comes to you, what are you going to do with the ball? It's no different than what you're going to do in life. So when I hear Pritchard talk about that, a lot of these players, they can't tune it out. It's in their head. It's in their face wherever they go. It's hard to do. For Pritchard, I'm sure he's heard the noise his whole entire career. He said he sometimes used a journal as a burn book, referencing the movie Mean Girls. In that film, a group of high school girls created such a book to write hurtful rumors or gossip about other students. Unlike the girls in that movie, Pritchard doesn't write cruel things about the others. But he does register criticism he hears from certain people. As far back as middle school, he said he tracked other parents, players, or coaches who doubted him. Back then, most people thought it was foolish for him to even dream about playing Division I, never mind playing in the NBA. Quote, I knew the people who said that stuff, and I wrote their names down. I have everything in the book. Pritchard's best NBA season has ended unforgettably. After years of frustrating competitions for playing time, he had seized his most consistent minutes off the bench for the Celtics last year. During the 4-1 NBA Finals win against the Mavericks, he stamped himself as the Heave God. Did you know that name? I didn't know that name.
I was unaware of the Heave God.
The Heave God. Gotta try. That's a good one for Valentine's Day, by the way. Come here, Heave God. Hang on. The Heave God. I've never heard of that. Whew. Wow, the Heave God. What else? It was the culmination of Pritchard's long journey to becoming the Celtics' master of hopeless situations. Well, they weren't hopeless for him. That dude, Jaylen Brown, said of Pritchard's Game 5 heroics, he's a bleeping legend, man. On the night Pritchard cemented his team's championship, he sat on the bench until the final 4 seconds of the first half. The previous 23 minutes and 53 seconds, I mentioned this. He believed he defended well throughout the playoffs, but noticed his offense dried up. As a result, his playing time dwindled late in the series. Never again would he give a coaching staff a reason to sit him. On a piece of paper, Pritchard detailed the parts of his game he would need to change. Quote, I never wanted to have that feeling again of not playing. Having to get better in every area so that never in a game they feel like they shouldn't be on the court. Some details of The Alchemist have escaped Pritchard since the first read of the book in high school. But one theme spoke loudest to him in his quest for treasure, only giving up promises and failure. You'll always get to where you're going as long as you don't quit, Pritchard said. That's my mindset. Now, you think about this guy's work ethic. It is pretty great. He says that 4 or 5 times a week, Pritchard welcomed 2 or preferably 3 college or professional players who would do nothing but defend him on roughly 2 hours a day, even when traveling. Pritchard said he would find capable players to guard him and hit the gym. He just finds people to go up and guard him.
Imagine being one of those guys.
But here's the deal. What was the one thing you heard about Ray Allen your whole career?
He worked.
He worked out all the time. He might have worked out too much. I don't know where I saw this the other day, but there was some college kid. I forget his name. I watched it this weekend. But he said that because of the snow, they got in a little bit late, and he could only take 500 shots before the game. He usually takes 1,000 on game day. And I watched the kid play throughout the game, man, and I wish I could give you the kid's name. But I watched it this weekend. I go, wow, he could only get 500 shots up before the game. Like, Ray Allen, this was one of the things I think that you respected about Ray Allen, but at the same time, as he got older, he couldn't change the regimen. Like, he couldn't play if he wasn't doing that. I think he shot 100 free throws a day. I think that's what it was. But he goes on to just talk about he wants to match up with players of different sizes and strengths. He wants to simulate scenarios where he would encounter in a real game. He didn't want anyone he could beat with pure quickness. Only athletes he would need to outfox in skill. He wanted competitors. He goes, that's one of the non-negotiables. Actually, one of the guys he goes up against is somebody named Brooke DeBishop, a 6'10" center in Spain, who's one of Pritchard's closest friends. They work out regularly. I guess this guy covers Pritchard all the time, which I love. But imagine him he goes up against his brother as well. He finds kids off the street. This is a great story. It's over at The Athletic, but this guy's keeping receipts, man. And he doesn't want to be in a situation anymore where the Celtics can't use him or anybody can't use him. He's improved. There's no doubt about it. He was disappointed in his playing time in the finals. According to Joe Mazzulla, Pritchard's tenure as a late clock specialist began more than a year ago. The heave god. He brought up how he missed a layup at the end of regulation in March of 2013 against Cleveland. And how he wrote that down, and he ended up getting injured from there and kept some time off the court. This is a really good read. It's long. He's got doubters. He's got people who fades him. Pritchard knows. He said, definitely, there's still people that doubt how far I can make it. I know for sure they think that. There's people who will always put limitations on me. And when I read the end of this, because again, this is a real long read. But Pritchard sees the journals as an important part of his process. Whatever he writes down about the season, expect next summer's dream to be even larger. His best friend, the 6'10" guy, I talked to him the other day, and he's already talking about plans for the summer and what we're going to do and how we're going to turn it up another notch. He's never resting on his laurels or content with where he's at, and I don't think he ever will be. And real quick, guys, I know we got Brian Barrett. I know we're late. This goes back to that Tatum quote from the other night's guest. Tatum mentioned that once he got there, he knows he can do it, and now he knows he has to work harder to get back there. I think that's bled through the team, and I think in this article here, Payton Pritchard exemplifies it. All right, we'll talk to Brian Barrett. He's of The Ringer. We'll get his thoughts on Pritchard as well. I'm Joe Murray here on 98.5 The Sports.
You're listening to Joe Murray on 98.5.
Tickets today at skinashoba.com.
Around here, we call them the Joe Murray pre-party. It's Felger and Maz afternoons right now. Joe Murray on the sport.
Because Rob Schneider has a great role in that movie. Oh, what was his name? Oh, God. But it be nice. Yes, and then he's singing it. See, it's an upper, but it's a sad one as well. I'm sure we can make a relation. Anyways, going to the Volkswagen Dealers Expert Hotline right now. His name is Brian Barrett. He works over at The Ringer. I was on his podcast yesterday, Off the Pike, and now he's joining us here on 98.5 The Sports. Brian, how you doing?
Joe, I'm doing well, man, except the fact that it's a good day for you to be doing a full show because there's nothing on tonight. Literally, we get this celebrity game and pretty much nothing else.
Well, that's, you know what, I was wondering if tonight would be a slug on the air. We got 104 people on YouTube right now. I feel like that's a lot. So people are hanging out. They want to hear the hits all night long. So I appreciate you joining us here. Before we get into the baseball stuff, because I know you got a lot of stats on Bregman and stuff. Have you read this Payton Pritchard article yet from Jay King of The Athletic?
I saw some of like the highlights of it in terms of like some of the big stuff that have come out of it, but I haven't read the full article in detail yet. But
it's long.
Some of the quotes that that have come out of there have me laughing.
He's got. I didn't know he was
being selfish about shooting percentage.
Yeah, and then I didn't know he was nicknamed the Heave God. Did you?
No, that does make sense though, based on his reputation. I mean, I keep coming back to the finals against Dallas, the closing game when he hit that shot. And Tatum's going nuts. I'm like, once he hit that shot, I knew the game was over. I mean, I kind of knew. We all knew the series was over, but when he hit that shot, you're like, okay, yeah, Dallas is dead.
Yeah, he's got names of like people in high school told him he wouldn't play D1 ball, and then they mentioned. I mean, you've probably seen the videos of like him backing down kids like on a public court. I guess he just looks for anyone of any size that can try to defend him, because last year he was upset that he only got to play in those 4 seconds. Like those heaves that he's credited for, he's upset that he couldn't be used in the rest of the game, and now wants to be able to do so many things so he can actually be a part of the game. I love that motivation.
Yeah, I love Pritchard. And if you go back to, have you seen the videos when he's like coming up, like when he's a kid in Oregon and he's like dribbling in his, basically, I think it's his garage, and like how fast he puts it between his legs and like sort of around all his legs. It's pretty amazing. And you said it, like that video of him when, was it his now wife that videoed the kid wanted to play him one-on-one? It's just hilarious. It just shows you the competitor that he is. And think about this, you know what's kind of crazy about Pritchard is, remember when the Celtics were in the finals in 2022, like there were a lot of times where Ime was going with Pritchard over Derek White, because at that time, remember, Derek White was he wasn't the most confident player in the world, and he'd have one game, like, what was it? I think it was maybe game 6 against Miami, or maybe game 5 against Miami, where he went off, he hit 5 threes, and then like the rest of the series combined, like he couldn't throw the ball in the ocean. Like he really struggled with his confidence, so they went with Pritchard a lot of times over him. But this season has been amazing for Pritchard. And I'm actually, like, speaking of things that he could sort of use as a chip on his shoulder, how is he not invited to the three-point contest? I get Buddy Hield is on the Warriors, but Buddy Hield shot the ball well for like 4 weeks, and he hasn't shot the ball well since. Like Payton Pritchard, this is the reigning defending champs. He should have got an invite. And that's something that maybe it'll get him motivated, the fact that he didn't get invited, and he's essentially one of the best 5 3-point shooters in the league this year by percentage and volume.
Even the skills competition, I'd like to see him do that, you know?
Oh, he'd be great in that.
Yeah. Listen, people can say what they want. I'm not saying he's a star, like an all-star, any of that, but I do think Payton Pritchard around the league, he's kind of a polarizing figure for a small guy.
No, he certainly is. And if you just look at it in terms of like a contractual standpoint, and obviously the guys that are on max contracts that are legitimate, like top 15, top 20 players in the league, those are the best bargains because they're the best players and they're making more than they would make. And say, like, if there wasn't a salary cap, like Jason Tatum, he's underpaid for what he does for the Celtics, right? And I get you can say, oh, that's crazy to say how much money he makes and he's underpaid. But if you look at a guy like Payton Pritchard, for example, this year, his cap hit is what, $6.6 million?
Yeah.
Next year it's going to be 7.3. The year after that it's going to be 7.7. And this is essentially a guy that has been the favorite for the majority of the season to win the 6th Man of the Year. Like he came into the year at plus 6,000. now essentially he's been the favorite to win the award. And you're getting a guy that's never going to make more than $8 million against the cap in this NBA with all the, and I know you've talked about it a bunch, Joe, all the restrictions you have being a second apron team. Like, this was such a great signing by the Celtics. It's crazy to think about it. Remember just a couple of years ago, it's a guy that wanted a trade, and now he's such a valuable member of this team. I could see games in the playoffs, and we talked about this yesterday, I think, Joe, the fact that he could actually close games over Drew Holiday, because Drew, unbelievable defender and all that, he's still struggling with his shooting. Like, would it be crazy, because we've seen it all season long, if Payton Pritchard closed out a playoff game for the Celtics? And considering all the stars they have on this team, to have him at this number, it's one of the best contracts the Celtics have signed, 4 years for $30 million.
I have two parts to what you just said. One, maybe you guys can look into it. I don't know if your boss has any intel, but I am curious about Drew Holiday's health. I'm very curious about that, so we'll table that for another day. You mentioned the contract, and Brad Stevens today mentioned that he's not interested or a candidate for the Indiana job. I believe his contract's up next year, correct? Do you think he's here for the long haul in Boston, even with new ownership? And if he was to go for another job, would it be college, NBA? Would it be coaching? Would it be GM? Where do you think his next step would be if there was one?
Well, I just can't imagine that he would take another coaching job at this point, right? Because it felt like he was just exhausted, and he was tired out. So I wonder if that's something that he revisits, rather, like when, I think is his kid still in high school? So I think that's something that he would wait on before he returns to coaching. It just felt like he was fatigued from coaching. And if you've had this much success at the front office level, why would you do something else? Especially considering the fact that at this point you still have Tatum under contract for a long time. You still have Jaylen Brown under contract for a long time. We mentioned Payton Pritchard, but even Derek White, like, these guys are under contract for the foreseeable future. And if you're the new ownership group, whoever takes over the team, why would you want to move on from Brad Stevens? And basically he inherited Danny Ainge's front office. So I just don't see what the motivation would be for Brad. I get the Indiana element to all of this, but I can't see it at this particular point in time. And it's already been reported that he's not interested in that job. Where else would he want to go if he's not going to take that job at this point in time? Like, the Duke job's not coming open anytime soon. Like, I'm thinking about the best jobs in college basketball because Shire's done an outstanding job recruiting. I can't see the temptation for him to leave. Like, there could have been an opportunity a couple of years ago, going back to when they originally moved on from Ime and Missoula was struggling. Like, he could have done a Pat Riley and come down and started coaching the team. Or when they decided to move on from Ime, he could have just anointed himself the head coach. But I think the one thing about Brad is, like, he sort of identified Joe. Remember, like, if you go back to when Ime came in here and they hired Ime, Joe was like the carryover. The rest of the guys were essentially Ime assistants, and he wanted Joe on the staff, and so did Tatum at that particular point in time. So I just can't see Brad leaving. Like, why would you leave a thing like this, especially considering, like, you're in the perfect situation. Like, you have an awesome roster that you assembled. You traded for Porzingis. You traded for Drew. You traded for Derek White.
All right, Brian Barrett joining us from The Ringer. That was something you said, Skaz, right? He even said UNC as well.
Yeah, I just think, I'm with you as well. Like, I don't think Brad Stevens is leaving. I think he has, the job he wants. The Celtics are an elite organization, all that. But look at what UNC just did with Bill Belichick. They just threw a bag at him. They're trying to make a splash. They're not good at all this year. Very disappointing. If there was a name out there in the basketball world to try and make a splash, if you're UNC, if that NIL money is coming through, I think they at least have to look at Brad Stevens.
Yeah, that's actually a really good point. Like that, I mentioned Duke as like Shire's locked in, but that would be the one other place because Kentucky, of course, just hired Mark Pope last season. That would be the one other place where you could like try to pry Brad. Like you would have the credibility to be able to try to pry Brad Stevens from the Celtics. I think like they're going to offer. If I was them, I'd offer a ton of money to Nate Oates, who's obviously done an outstanding job at Alabama, but if you're UNC, like, you should certainly call him. I just don't think, like, the way that he just seems so fatigued after the way it ended as a head coach, I just can't see him doing it at this particular point in time. And maybe I'm naive in thinking that just because the Celtics have been rolling for the past two seasons, but That's an awfully difficult job to pass up, especially considering you have a ring as an executive, and you got so close as a college basketball coach, like literally a Gordon Hayward heave, right? Like they were that close. And made it to the Final Four the next year without Gordon Hayward. So maybe that's the temptation. It's just, if I was Brad Stevens, and I can't put myself in his shoes, but I would ride this thing out with the core that he has. It's just like you could have a window here where maybe, and like it's tough to have a dynasty in the modern NBA, but you could be playing in the NBA Finals, 4 out of the 5 next seasons.
Mm-hmm. And I didn't realize this, but I guess the NBA did reach out or contacted him about it, but he said it wasn't the right time. But still, maybe they know what's up. Hey, ratings are down, right? I think he'd be polarizing. To your point, I think that would be great. But yeah, I guess his quote was, "It's just not the right time." They had the CLNS had this. They had communicated it to me a little bit, but just didn't think this was the right year. So hey, they're all in on a championship.
I think he'll coach again, Joe. I just think it's going to be a little bit.
Yeah. All right, Brian. Let's talk some baseball. Bregman, he's here. Craig Breslow talked a lot, and I guess they talked the talk. My question to you was this. Clearly, this move shows that they want to play in the playoffs in October. But do you think now that they're back? Like, I started the show with a quote tonight that I can't believe. I don't know, forget where I saw it, but it was something of, the Red Sox have restored their status as a big market team. Have they restored their status?
I think they have. I mean, like, we're going to have to see what the results are. But the fact that you traded for the best starting pitcher on the market, right? Like, you legitimately gave up 3 of your top 5, or rather 2 of your top 5 prospects. You gave up your last 2 first-round draft picks. And look, this is why I think it took the Red Sox so long to get to this point, is they wanted to build up their farm system. They gave up not one of their 1, 2, or 3 prospects, but they gave up their 4 and 5 prospects, which is pretty big to do that for Garrett Crochet. And we know that he has the potential to be one of the best starting pitchers in all of Major League Baseball. So you gave up prospect capital when it comes to that. And then when you look at the Bregman deal, like, you clearly overpaid him as it pertains to annual average value. Now, it's a short-term deal with opt-outs, although I doubt the guy would opt out of $40 million. Like, you're not going to get a long-term deal at that if you're Alex Bregman after this. But I think they're back in terms of they spent the money. They're over the CBT now. They added basically everything they needed, except the only thing that I would ding them for is I feel like they could have gotten one of the elite relievers. And I like the Chapman addition in terms of what he brings to the team from a pitching perspective. Top 5 last year in strikeout percentage in all of Major League Baseball for relievers, although he was last in walk rate, and he's an older pitcher. I think they could have done that, could have gotten an elite relief pitcher. But other than that, you needed a right-handed bat. You basically got a guy that is a great value for you, not just in terms of being a guy that hits from the right side of the plate, considering you were 27th in plate appearances and hits from right-handed pitchers, but also the fact that he can move all over the diamond, right? If he plays second base this year, which is what he's going to do, he can eventually move to third if you want Campbell to be your everyday second baseman going forward. And he's only under contract for 3 years. It's a perfect fit when it comes to that. So I just feel like they did everything they possibly could in terms of making themselves a contender this year outside of that one other element, which is another elite reliever. But you look across the American League right now, I mean, the Orioles are a good team. The Yankees are a really good team. Of course, they made it to the World Series, although they lost Soto. They went to the old age home and they traded for Paul Goldschmidt. They're bringing in Cody Bellinger. Like, the Red Sox just get in the tournament. I think they've done themselves enough here. And the one other thing I mentioned about the fact that now they're over the CBT, I think what that means is Campbell's got a real opportunity to make this team be the starting left fielder, because you're already, when you get to that margin in terms of the spending, it tells you that you're all in for this year. So if Campbell is just a better option in left field than Rafaela, who would be center, and probably Duran would play left field. But if that was the case, like, if you feel like Campbell's just so good offensively, you need him here this year, I think they'll do it. I mean, the crazy thing about this team, we've talked about the starting rotation being so bad for so many years. They legit could go with a 6-man starting rotation if they wanted to.
The Six Aces. We all love that, right?
The Porcello and who else? Yeah, that was crazy.
God, that was such a bad year. Well, anything else on the Sox, man? Just real quick, do you? I'm putting you on the spot here. Do you have any statistics of Devers' DH versus when he's not a DH? I'd probably say he's a better hitter when he's just the DH, right?
No, I mean, I don't know exactly what the numbers are when he actually DHs. I actually think the numbers may be the opposite.
Really?
Like, I think they may actually be better when he plays the field. He rarely DHs. Like, I guess I commend him for the fact that he like always wants to be in the lineup. It's just the fact that it's crazy. This guy has made the most errors, and I love Rafael Devers, but he's made the most errors in Major League Baseball since 2019. And essentially, what's crazy about that is he's not a shortstop. Like, ordinarily, that player would be a shortstop. He's tied for last in defensive runs saved over that time as well. So, I mean, that's kind of scary. Yeah, if you look at his numbers in terms of, so as a DH, he's 284. As a third baseman, he's 279.
Wow, you just did that on the fly.
Yeah, well, okay, so OPS 856, third base, DH 828, 511 slug, third base, 506 DH. He's only, you know what's crazy about this? He's only had like 87 plate appearances as a DH.
And I know,
but I'm sure, like, if he had to take that role on, I'm sure he wouldn't be happy about it. But I'm sure he'd be like, you know, Ortiz found a way to make kind of work, right? Like, he
JD
just go
Martinez too.
Yeah, JD, that's a great example. Remember, JD wanted to play the field more. It's like, dude, we kind of can't have you out there.
And Yoshida is the current example. But I think for Yoshida, it's about the long seasons and the adjustment to Major League Baseball, you know?
Yeah, and Yoshida has, I mean, not to be too critical of the guy, but he has one of the worst arms we've seen, and he has no range. It's not like he's not trying out there. It's not like he comes into camp out of shape or he's lazy. He's not fast, and he's a terrible arm. I mean, you go back to a couple of years ago, you can see, like, teams are just waving in their runners when Yoshida's the guy chasing down the ball because they know he's not going to get to it, and they know he's not going to throw him out at the plate. I mean, it's just unfortunate. Like, Yoshida, he's a good hitter, right? Like, in terms of bat to ball skills. It's just when you're a DH and you don't hit for power, there's just not a lot of value. Like, he would be unbelievable if he was actually like a middle infielder or something, right? Like, his numbers would be perfect for a second baseman or a shortstop. You'd be like, oh, it's a really quality player. But the problem is he's an outfielder and he can't play the outfield.
All right, Brian. Well, I took a couple of college basketball games tonight. I got UCLA coming up.
I do too. You got him on the money line or the spread?
I do. I took a money line.
Okay.
And I took Princeton, but that one's not looking so good right now. But, you know, the Ivy League, there's a lot of swings in the Ivy League.
Very true. Do you partake in any of the golf, like the three balls?
No, but I think Skaz is our golf extraordinaire guy. And you know what I wish I've bet over the last few tournaments is hole-in-ones. There's been a bunch of them lately.
Yeah. So I had a 5-leg 3-ball parlay today, and the only one that didn't hit was Cantlay. Fleetwood absolutely killed them, but very aggravating. You can get pretty big payouts on those, and like all my other guys were great. Like Aberg was great. Scheffler was on fire today, and then just laid an egg from that perspective in terms of like Fleetwood was like I was thinking about taking Fleetwood, and I ended up taking Cantlay, which I kind of regret.
What do you think, Skaz? Cantlay, Fleetwood?
Yeah, I'm not a Cantlay guy, and this is, of course, Tommy Fleetwood doesn't bomb the ball, and you normally think of Torrey as like kind of a bomber's paradise, but Fleetwood actually plays pretty well here. I thought like a guy like Taylor Pendrith was a guy you take a flyer on this week. He didn't play too well, so my top 10 bet on him is not looking too great. But yeah, this is a great week. You know, kind of a weird one because the Genesis isn't normally at Torrey, but some not much on this week. Some good golf. Good golf this weekend.
Yeah, some good golf. I wish I checked in with you, Skaz, on the Fleetwood thing, because that's what I was debating between in terms of that 3-ball, Fleetwood or Cantlay. But it's a good day tomorrow. Like, at least you got some things going. Like, you have 1 versus 2 in college basketball, and then you got USA versus Canada tomorrow night, which I'm hyped up about. Like, I'm fired up. I think USA is going to win, Joe. How do you feel about that?
Oh, I just want both teams to have fun and no one boo the anthems.
Dude, you know who got booed like crazy in that game last night was Matthews because it was in Montreal.
That's interesting, huh? Yeah. I'm actually tomorrow. It should be fun. Hey, that's what they play for, right? This thing's turned out to be okay. I know it was a blowout last night, but so far I'm into it. And hey, there's not really much else on, right? So let's do it. I'm in on that. And by the way, what sports book do you use again for that 3-ball?
FanDuel.
Ah, okay. All right, just wanted to make sure.
FanDuel.
Okay.
I feel bad rooting for the Kachucks though.
Well, we're gonna say one was a local guy, good guy. The rest of them, I don't know.
Have you seen that? For tomorrow, Bennett and Marchand are on the same line.
Ooh.
Yeah.
He's the one he choked. He choked him, right?
Well, Bennett, remember, sucker punch Marchand.
That's
twice.
right. That's right.
Yep.
Ooh, that could be interesting. We'll see how it goes. All right, Brian, we'll enjoy the rest of your night, man. We're here. We're just hanging out. And we're hanging out with everybody who's not out because everybody's out, it seems like.
Yeah, maybe I'll head over to, it's Valentine's Day, right? Maybe I'll head over to Sylvan.
Are you one of those guys? Are you one of those guys late in the night? Like, hey, maybe I'll get over there and see if anything's out?
No, I mean, unless I'm meeting somebody, you know what I mean?
Yeah, the old barfly, you know? Anybody who's there at the end of the night?
Yeah, well,
I grew up in the city. That was something we could always do.
Yeah, I'm single. Most of my friends are married, so occasionally you'll get a text. Hey, any chance you want to go out tonight? I'm like, yeah, twist my arm.
Well, if you like guys who like statistics, Brian Barrett is your man. Brian, appreciate you, bro. Thank you for joining us, man.
Anytime, Joe.
You got it. He's Brian Barrett, everybody. Check out his podcast, too. I was on there. It was fun. It's Off the Pike. And his boss is Bill Simmons, which they have a new documentary coming out, and I forgot to ask him. We'll have to just do it next time. All right, we'll hit the headline here. I'm Joe Murray, 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Sports Hub headlines, presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
Red Sox saw the arrival of Alex Bregman today at camp. Dolphins have released Raheem Mostert and Kendall Fuller. Broncos
points.
Everybody knows Joe.
Just keeps getting better.
Joe Murray on 98.5.
Mark Clark, go out and go have some fun, bro. You see Neil all shaved? I mean, I knew he was going out tonight. I wonder if he's got a babysitter. He's listening. I know.
I think he's still in the building.
Oh, he is.
I think so.
No, but no, come on, Neil. He looks like he's going out tonight. I have musings. I'm going to save a lot of my takes for musings tonight. But man, the traffic sucked on the way in. People are going out tonight.
Oh yeah. It took me a long time to get here tonight.
Real quick, because I do want to get to NRL, but in 2 more years, I just want to prepare everybody. The Super Bowl is going to be on Valentine's Day in 2 more years. So just imagine Drake May and the Patriots in the Super Bowl in 2 years, and it's Valentine's Day. Start making your plans, everybody. We'll hit the in or out. It's coming up next here on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
What's it going to be, McFly? Are you in or out?
Nations face-off tomorrow, USA, Canada. Headlines brought to you by Feldman Geospatial with offices in Boston and Worcester. For all your survey services, you can count on Feldman to get it right from the ground up. FeldmanGeo.com. I'm Joe Murray. In or Out is next.
Boston plays here.
Pritchard, half court, it's in the air. He got it! He did it again!
98.5, the Sports Hub.
Are you in or out? Gotta know without a doubt. I'm the one you need for a dirty deed. I'm the best. Success is guaranteed.
Is it a 50? I think it probably
you did track,
is.
right?
Yeah, a little cross country, a little track.
Okay, well, you're the
back in my
expert
day.
here.
Yeah. I was more of a distance guy, though. Hard sugar hearts you get sometimes. Every kid had them back in, like, middle school. They really have cute little messages.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Oh, yeah.
So listen, the ones that are chocolates, it's bare minimum, baby. Like, listen, you go to CVS, those things are rocking, baby.
I'm talking like the chalky kind of like real little ones.
Oh,
you mean come in like the little box?
You mean sweet tarts? Like
not like sweet tart. I think they might be
the ones with the names on them.
Yeah, they have like their little messages and stuff.
Yeah,
like
I love
that.
those things. I've created my own before. Wrote some real raunchy stuff on there. Yum, in, out, in on candy hearts is what they're called. Is that what you called them, but I didn't call them that? No. Listen, the candy hearts, you got to get creative. Like I said, put your own names on them. Put your own things on them. And then that one that comes in a chocolate, that's a shape heart with the bonbons, I call it, because all I remember is Married with Children. She used to just eat bonbons all day. That was what you gave your teacher in school, right? So, Skaz, I always talk about how I went to Catholic school. So, my favorite, I liked Michael Jordan. I was a big-time Michael Jordan fan. And then 1991 or whatever, he was very popular. So, how old was I in 90? I was 9. And I might have been I can't remember what grade it was. But we used to pass out Valentines in class. You did that, right?
Of course.
Well, mine was Michael Jordan. And mine was always like, I'll fly for you. Or let's jam. Stuff like that. But now that I think back on it, I was giving those to girls in like second grade, first grade. I told you about the time I wrote a girl a poem, and it was the Rump Shaker lyrics. I said, I like the way you comb your hair. I like the styles, clothes you wear. It's just the little things you do that makes me want to get with you. 5th grade, I wrote that.
Well, 5th grade, you plagiarized it.
I plagiarized. Teddy Riley, I apologize. Yep, it's Teddy. I wrote that to a girl. She really didn't show anything to me at all. But now that I think back on it, did I go a little too, hardcore with the Rex and effects? I didn't write all I want to do is I'm a zoom, 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 and a boom, boom. That's a true story. 5th grade, Sacred Heart School, Rosendale. Keep going.
All right, Joe, some sports news this week. One, Shaquille O'Neal has reached an agreement in place with TNT Sports that will pay him over $15 million a year, a long-term deal for Shaq. Joe Murray, are you in or out on Shaq getting a long-term deal for $15 million a year?
You know what? What is Shaq not doing? He's got the General. He's got the Shaq-a-roni. He's got Buick. What else am I missing? He's got Reeboks. What else? He's got TV. He's got Hertz. He's got this. He's got that. He's got the you ever seen his girlfriend, by the way? I shouldn't go there. Anyways, what I mean is this. What is Shaq not doing?
Really wondering where that tangent was about to go.
What is Shaq not doing? Because he's doing. Snoop Dogg's another sellout.
Him and Martha teaming up for everything.
Can you believe that? Think about the stuff Shaq's been in. Shaq Fu, right? Blue Chips. I'm just going back. I'm just spitballing right now. He had Fu Schnickens. He had his own album. I Know I Got Skills, Man.
Papa John's.
He's got the Shaq-a-roni. He was in Grown Ups. He was a cop. He is a sheriff somewhere, I think. What does Shaq not do? $15 million a year? Out. He might make more now than he did in his playing career. I mean that, seriously. The two biggest sellouts right now are Shaq and Snoop. Facts. Snoop had the Olympics come in. Remember we did this whole thing? Who else could be? They're the two biggest sellouts right now. But you know what? It's big. I resent them, but good for them. Shaq could rap. That song, I Know I Got Skills, I could rap that to you right now if you want me to.
All right, Joe.
Shaq has gummies, too?
I'm sure he does, Joe. Everybody does nowadays.
Shaq-alicious.
Sticking with the NBA theme, Adam Silver announced that the NBA will be playing games in Europe next year with some games in Manchester. Joe Murray, are you in or out on regular season NBA games in Manchester next year?
For basketball?
The NBA.
Oh, you know who loves this? Joe Mazzulla.
And go see his guys, Man City.
You know what? I think it would be really good for the NBA to go over there. I know they're trying the midseason tournament. Listen, dude. Were you betting on soccer today? Like, I don't know what league that is. Germany Bundesliga. Like, I know that, like, that's a league? I didn't know that was a league. So it's just, I do think that soccer obviously is the biggest sport in the world. More people watch, like, the PSG game the other night than they did the damn Super Bowl the other night. So, yes, I think it would be good. In.
All right, Joe, we'll wrap up with this one tonight. Saturday Night Live is celebrating their 50th anniversary this weekend. They will be doing an anniversary special on the 16th. I believe it is live. You would have to think so. They're also doing a Saturday Night Live homecoming concert, Joe, with guests that include the Backstreet Boys, Bad Bunny, Bonnie Raitt, David Byrne, Eddie Vedder, Jack White. Joe Murray, are you in or out on the SNL 50th anniversary?
And it's going to be good. It's going to be good. And I want them all back. Who did I saw Martin Short do a 50th anniversary or I think they did like a 5-timer, 7-timer, or whatever. As I think back on it, like who? Because we're different age groups, so it's completely different. But who is your favorite SNL character of all time? There's no wrong answer here.
Yeah, like I'd love to say Tim Robinson, but he wasn't like a big enough character actually on the show. So for me, it was probably someone like Bill Hader or like Andy Samberg. Those guys were like pretty big when I first started watching. So I'd say that was probably my wheelhouse.
Norm Macdonald was probably one of my favorites. Adam Sandler. It's funny because when I watch the old ones now, he just had to be stoned and did everything. And Chris Farley, for real, dude, like, I just think about that era. I know people will compare eras, but I think the 90s was the best. Like, just Mike Myers, Adam Sandler, Chris Farley, Norm Macdonald, as I mentioned. I'm trying to think of who else was in the 90s there. Like, big stars. There was a ton. Why am I missing? I'm looking at the guy right in my hand. I can't see it. There was so many like big timers in the 90s that
Spade was probably
David
there.
Spade. Yeah, all those guys. They were all like, and David Spade and Tim Meadows and all those guys were just like bit pieces, but they were on there though. Like Kevin Nealon, I really liked. Can't think of the guy's name. I got him in my head. I see the names and I can't remember them, but I think the 90s might be the best, but people will put up the 70s and all that as well. Anyways. Adam Sandler, though, it's hard not to think of him on Valentine's Day, right? Like, we talked about this last night, but The Wedding Singer came out, so 2025. So it came out 27 years ago yesterday. So I hope we get some Sandler on the 50th anniversary. I want Mike Myers. I want Dana Carvey. There's another guy right there I was just thinking of. Like all those movies, guys, that were out in the 90s were all Saturday Night Live like pieces, you know? Like Tommy Boy, right? Wayne's World was another. Billy Madison. But I probably could keep going, but Airheads was another. Now people are going to give me the John Belushi era, which sure you like Eddie Murphy and all them. I just think the 90s was the best. But again, that was what I grew up to. So
was Dennis Miller who you were thinking of?
He was a little older than that, but he was on 90s enough though. He was huge. Did Monday Night Football at one point. Can you believe that? Dennis Miller was that's like Will Ferrell being
They got the Manning cast now. I'm sure he's showing up on that thing.
Will Ferrell would be great in the booth. Would he do Ron Burgundy though? Ron Burgundy here. Hold that, Josh Allen. I'm gonna watch my mouth tonight. I gotta be real careful tonight. Anything else, guys?
That is going to wrap it up, Joe, for a Valentine's Day edition of In or Out.
What's your favorite candy on Valentine's Day?
Probably a Reese's or like a peppermint patty, maybe.
You nailed it. Reese's peanut butter cup, heart-shaped.
Oh, yeah. Any shaped Reese's, the eggs, the hearts. I don't know what they're doing with the shapes, but they're nailing it.
Because they don't taste like the regular.
No.
There's like an extra
It's like back in the day when you got like the different shaped mac and cheese. You were just convinced it tastes better, even though it was exactly the same.
I agree with you. You know what's out there right now? Cadbury cream eggs.
Out.
Really?
Yeah. No, thank you.
Give me all your Cadbury cream eggs. I just love when it bursts.
Joe, have you seen the new Reese's cups that they've come out with? The lava cups?
What?
Yes, these I saw somewhere I was listening to was advertising these recently, or maybe I saw them at Market Basket, but yes, Reese's lava cups.
They're gooey. So they're like volcanoes of Reese's peanut butter cups. Oh, I am in on this. It explodes like a volcano. I love explosions. There was a volcano that erupted in Hawaii the other night. Got 300 feet high. I watched it. All right, we got to go to break. I'm Joe Murray. You're listening to 98.5 The Sports.
You're listening to Joe Murray on 98.5. Felger and Maz are just his pregame.
They've been getting wholesale deals for years.
It's Joe Murray on the Sports Hall.
I went through a breakup years ago, and I'm in a dentist chair, and all of a sudden I hear, "You can't fight the tears that ain't coming," and I'm like, "Oh man, this is bad right now." Man, we need something happy in our lives right now. Oh, it's Matty V from Providence, from Card Vault. Matty V, how you doing?
Coming to you live from Providence, I might add. Joe, I got to say, I didn't realize you had John Resnick in the studio with you right now, my man.
That's right.
My God, how is he? How is those are a set of pipes I haven't heard in years.
Yeah, I should leave it to someone else to sing and let him just sing it, but I've got requested to sing tonight. The chat, our YouTube chat, is requesting songs, and we're playing bangers all night for Valentine's Day. What are you doing?
Me, buddy, I am. I'm hanging out. I'm watching this silly little celebrity NBA All-Star game. Working on a few things for the Vault. Little low key Friday for sure.
Well, there's a big announcement you guys have, which I'll get to in a second here. But who's playing in the celebrity basketball game?
Dude, I just turned it on, honestly, so I couldn't. I know. I'm pretty sure Drewski, who was with us this past week, I think he's on there. A couple other
Is
folks.
Drewski the guy that with the blonde? He's kind of got like blonde hair and he's kind of chubby.
Yeah, yes, that's him. Yeah,
oh, okay. I thought that was Joel Embiid out there. I'm sorry.
No, sir.
Yeah. I used to love the celebrity game. The celebrity softball game in baseball was awesome. I used to love, I think Raleigh Fingers used to pitch, and you got who was the girl that was the softball? Jenny Finch, remember her?
Jenny. Oh yes,
I used to love celebrity games. Now I feel like the whole basketball NBA weekend's gone to crap.
It's it's still kind of fun. You get to watch the dunk contest. Obviously, it'd be awesome if you had some of the big dogs still competing in it and all that. But it's fun. It's fun to watch people on TV, just kind of horse around a little bit. And then I get to, you've seen the exercise before, how I play the game in my head of how I could get out there and just jack up some threes. So it's fun. A little fun, light humor for Friday night.
All right, man. Well, you had a big weekend for the Super Bowl. You got invited by Fanatics to go out and host their party. For those, we've had Matty in studio before. Card Vault has many locations, and one right at the Garden, one at Foxwoods, and the other at Patriot Place. But they invited you, Chris, and the crew to basically show up and be the cool guys at the Fanatics party. Is that what happened?
Well, I mean, if we were the cool guys, we were definitely at the bottom of the totem pole of the cool guys, because there were quite a few cool guys.
Who was there? You can flex. Let's name drop. Flex for a little bit.
So for context, what we were doing out there, they had the Fanatics had their red carpet for the Fanatics Super Bowl event. We were at the very end of the red carpet after, the media outlets and, all your standard paparazzi and all that stuff. And basically what we would do is, as some of the guests would work their way down the red carpet, we'd try to, pull them on screen with us. We were streaming live on the Fanatics Live platform, and we'd try to pull them over and get some people, rip a pack of cards with us. We'd give it away to the chat. We'd toss them a softball question and chop it up for a little bit, and then they'd go on their way. They'd sign this big Fanatics card. So we initially thought we knew we would get some folks. We had, some people that we knew on the red carpet through, either Big Night or through Card Vault that we knew would stop. We got a substantially larger amount of folks that stopped and hung out with us and ripped some cards with us than we anticipated.
But that's cool, right? People people see dudes streaming and ripping cards, and they're like, because they're people, everyone does it. Right. There's some big names, so you can flex. I think Post Malone was one, right?
He was. Posty was on there. I think probably the funniest exchange, and Chris and I got a really good laugh out of it after the fact, was so I'll paint the scene really quick for you. So we had a little gap in between guests, and Pete Davidson walks by. Whoa. I kind of lean back and I'm like, "Hey Pete, you want to come grab rip a pack of cards with us? We're live on on the Fanatics website, blah blah blah." And he's like, hey, man, like, my publicist, got me doing this really quick. I'll come right back. We're like, all right, cool. In my head, I'm like, he's not coming back. All good. It's not like, no big deal. Kevin Costner comes walking down.
Wait, hang on. Kevin Costner from Field of Dreams, Yellowstone, you name him.
Yeah, Horizon, all that good stuff. Oh, yeah. Yeah, the Kevin Costner. He comes walking over. So Chris leans back. He's like, hey, Kevin, would you mind coming ripping a pack of cards? Blah, blah, like, gives, like, the quick look. Because they're walking quick, so you got to be bang, bang. We had to, like, try to engage them very quickly. And he walks over to the camera and goes, I'm just not really a fan when magicians try to make me part of their act. And Chris and I kind of look at each other really quick. And this is on, kid. This is recorded, by the way. We have the clip saved. And it's a very funny watch. So we found out afterwards, he interpreted it as we were magician. We were doing a magic trick. When we said cards, he just defaulted to like it was some kind of, like live stream magic show or something like that. And Chris and I kind of give each other a quick little look. And then he just looks back at Kevin and goes, it's sports cards, man. Like you could tell Costner was kind of like, he starts talking with Chris. He's like, sports cards. And he goes, like, takes a walk down memory lane. Then I feel a tap on my shoulder off to the right. And it's Pete Davidson, and he comes back. So now we're, like, in between Pete Davidson and Kevin
Costner. Which one do you balance out there,
Well, you're not going to kick Kevin off the set. Kevin's actively talking with Chris. So now I'm, like, kind of off to the right here, and I'm like, oh, man, I'm just between Pete Davidson and Kevin. This is kind of wild. So Pete leans in, and he's like, hey, man, I told you I'd be back, blah, blah, blah. He's like, you got me following Costner, though? Come on, man. And we just had a laugh about it. He's like, dude, he's like, look, he's so hot. Look at him. I'm like, dude, and Kevin, he's a super cool, man, super gracious. Post Malone was awesome. He was a lot of fun. Who was awesome, man, was Jameis Winston. Jameis Winston, that guy is the electric factory, man. Just guy belongs in front of a camera.
Dude, talk about a guy that went from saying something really obscene years ago to now being one of the,
right.
He's got Heisman Trophy, had a big downfall, and now he's probably one of the next athletes to be in media.
No, he's the people's champ of the NFL. The people's champ. My man took a good 90 seconds plugging his jersey sales in the middle of the live, which was hilarious, too.
Just real quick, someone mentioned to me that Costner and Pete actually were sitting next to each other at the Super Bowl. I wonder if you guys curated that.
Yeah, well, I probably not. I'm not going to take
take a little credit. Come on.
Any credit for that, but they did. There was a friend of ours that we ended up meeting down there that said they were together at the party, at the Super Bowl party, that we were hosting, we went to after. So I don't know if they, previously knew each other. I'm sure they probably know each other through, whatever circle of celebrities that they dabble in or whatever. But no, there's a lot of things Card Vault can take credit for this past weekend. The friendship between Kevin Costner and Pete Davidson, probably not one of them.
All right, Matt Varela. We call him Matty V. He's from Card Vault.
From Providence.
Well, from Providence as well.
Live from Providence.
He is live from Providence. So Card Vault made some news this week, huh, man? You want to announce it?
Sure. So this past week, the one and only beloved Tom Brady became a 50% partner in Card Vault, and we are now known as Card Vault by Tom Brady.
So Tom Brady, the GOAT,
yes, sir,
is now part owner of Card Vault. So I assume now that you guys will be expanding with his presence.
That would be correct. So we actually, for a lot of you guys, I know whenever I've been on with you, and if any of you guys have watched the live streams, a lot of y'all are probably familiar. We have the 3 stores right now. We have the flagship store over in Patriot Place in Foxborough, the store down in Foxwoods in Connecticut, and the store that you and I operate out of on Tuesdays over at TD Garden. The 4th location will be opening up in a couple months down at American Dream in Jersey, right by MetLife Stadium. And then we're in active talks and actively working in a couple of other markets on the East Coast, on the West Coast, to get up to hopefully double-digit stores by by the end of the year. So there's some exciting things happening on the card vault front for sure. And I know Chris has touched on it yesterday. He did a cool piece with Sports Card Radio. Having Tom on board and having him, as enthusiastic as he is to be part of the hobby and be part of this space is super refreshing. And I mean, I said, like, we had a little get together with him on Friday when we filmed the announcement video, and just the way he talks about the collectibles industry, about the sports card industry, and about this whole venture, man, you can't fake that kind of enthusiasm. It'd be very easy to detect if he was being disingenuous, especially for me. Like, I have a pretty good BS detector, I'd like to think. And the guy's just genuinely excited to be part of the space, be part of the hobby. And, I think it's obviously amazing for us. We can't wait to see, how this journey unfolds. But I think it's also going to be amazing for the industry of sports cards and collectibles as well, to have a steward like that, kind of amplifying the message that we're trying to bring and that we're trying to put out there to collectors, both local and across the country.
So, and for those that don't know, the way that they did the announcement was Tom Brady, if you remember, played baseball for the Expos. He had a card, and he signed a card years ago that was, well, if baseball doesn't work out, there's always football, or to that degree, right? Am I on the right track on that?
Yes, correct. So it was you're correct. Bowman Draft, which is a flagship product that releases each year for baseball prospects that just got drafted. For the first time in one of the previous cycles, it was in 2023. They had Tom in an Expos jersey, who he was drafted by. They had him inscribe one of the cards that was numbered. It was, one of the gold refractors that was numbered 12 of 50. Obviously, the number 12, given TB12, and he inscribed it. If football doesn't work out, there's always baseball, and it was, it's fun. The card to this day has not surfaced publicly. It may have been pulled, but it's very likely that card is still sealed in a pack somewhere of 2023 Bowman Draft.
Wow.
So,
and in this case, he said if broadcasting doesn't work out, there's always
card. Correct. So it was a fun little nod to the splash he made in the hobby with with that whole inscription a couple of years back, and it was such a clever way to announce and initially tease the partnership before the formal news broke the following day, but. Just really cool, and his team loved it. Obviously, our team was ecstatic about it, and the card itself will be, that'll be a nice little treasured piece of card vault history for the rest of the time that we're in existence. So it was really neat, man, and he was all about it too. So it's cool to see.
Well, it's now Card Vault by Tom Brady. I saw a photo with you and Tom Brady, and. Well, my comment was it's Matty V, the GOAT, with Tom Brady.
Yeah, crazy. You're crazy. I appreciate it, but oh man.
So he was cool. Come on, how many? That's probably the biggest guy you've ever met in your life, right?
Oh, easily. He's awesome, man. He really was. He was super nice. Took time to say hi to everybody who was there from the Card Vault team and all that. He's just so cool. It's tough. It's tough to give this assessment because obviously, this is the quarterback who, I watched win just an excessive amount of Super Bowls for us. I'm sure, some of the people listening right now, have the same kind of sentiment. You look at this guy and you're like, sheesh, man, like how many awesome memories of him in a Patriots uniform do you have? And, how many beat downs of the Jets on Sundays can you look back and just smile on because of this man?
And now he's signing your paychecks.
And now it's not like he's my boss. Like, it's crazy.
It's wild, man.
But it is wild, man. It's super cool. I couldn't be happier for our ownership group and all the guys at Big Night who've from the jump, man, from the jump at Card Vault and the vision that they've had and the execution that they've been able to kind of put out in front of us to put us all in a position to get here has been nothing short of tremendous. And now to have Tom on board and to, see what we can do with him and see, what sort of, fun events we can do at the shop or on live streams, it's super exciting, man. I couldn't be more excited. I know, the rest of the guys feel the same, but it's it's a pretty cool feeling for sure.
I wonder if Tom will know me. You know, hey.
Oh, we'll make the intro, Joe.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Like, you know, like when you work in media, you can't fanboy, right? So it's like,
right.
Well, you probably didn't fanboy, right? You probably just like, yes, Mr. Brady. No, Mr. Brady. How are you, Mr. Brady?
No,
right?
we kept it. Oh my God, my command of the English language right now. No, we kept it professional. Yeah, when we met, he's Chris. Yeah, that was the first time that I met him. So,
well, he's Zoe's boy. We work with Zoe, and I'm sure they text each other.
Oh God,
so who knows? Man.
Yeah, but he was great, man. Like, we shook our hands, and Chris gave me the intro. I was like, oh, this is Matty. He runs our brake business for us. Blah blah blah. And Tom was like, hey, Matty, it's great to meet you. You and I are going to do some really great work together. And my God, man, God,
that's motivating.
So you got the GOAT looking you in the eyes and saying that, man, shoot, you better come correct after that. So it's really cool, man. He's, like I said, he couldn't be, more genuine and, excited about the opportunity, himself from how he talks about the entire venture. So it's going to be fun, man. I'm really looking forward to it, as is the whole team, obviously.
Well, props to the team over at Card Vault, Big Night Live. You guys know where it is at the Garden. You look at the Bobby Orr statue right on the right-hand side, that whole right corridor, right in the back, though. Like, right in the back, that's where Card Vault is. Matty streams there. So you can find the streams on Whatnot. You can find them on Fanatics Live. Matty's one of the most entertaining streamers. And right now, you guys are breaking, I think it's the Topps 1 series right now, right? That's the big release that you guys had this week?
Yeah, Topps just came out with their flagship Series 1 product that just came out, available in all Card Vault stores, available on the Breaks channels as well, in addition to Prism WNBA. It was a big WNBA product that just dropped. So any of you folks who, hunting some Caitlin Clark, her stuff is, man, you talk about someone who's got a market that's to the moon right now. Her stuff could not be hotter. Right now. But,
WNBA, that's right. Yeah, that just came out.
Oh, yeah, just incredible. Her, Cameron Brink, like, the ladies, man, it's a little Valentine's Day nod to the ladies. They are selling really, really well right now. If you see some of those WNBA Prism products, I promise you right now, it's going to behoove you, even like a blaster and, some retail SKU stuff. It will behoove you to take a roll of the dice, because you start bagging some Caitlin Clark rookie stuff, you're going to have a few bucks in your pocket for sure.
All right, Matty, congratulations to everybody. Congratulations to you. I'm glad you met the GOAT. Matty is from Providence. I'll put respect on your name.
Oh, well, he's not going to hit me on it tonight. Look at this. Look at this.
You're on a heater right now. I got it. Right now you're on a heater. You go to the Super Bowl. You get to meet Tom Brady. He becomes your boss. I think you've made it now. I think you've officially made it. All right, Matty, appreciate you, bro. Go check out Card Vault, everybody. Check out their streams. Matt, appreciate your time, man. Enjoy the rest of your night.
Thanks, brother. We'll see you soon.
You got it. He's Matty V, everybody. Check him out over at Card Vault. They got multiple locations, and they're now owned by Tom Brady. Somehow, Chris Costa, go look him up, started a card shop and somehow got Tom Brady to be his partner. And Matty runs it all. And Big Night Live facilitates it all. And it's at the Garden and at Patriot Place and at Foxwoods, and who knows where it goes from there. Like, talk about a dream, Skaz. One day you just sell cards, and then Tom Brady's your boss. Boy can dream, right? We'll get the headlines here. I'm Joe Murray, 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Sports Hub headlines, presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
All right, Brad Stevens not leaving for college. And Alex Bregman showed up to Red Sox game. Headline.
Lobster topped attic. You gotta love the nines.
Quick, smelly.
It's Joe Murray on the Sports Hub.
I've been really trying, baby, trying to hold back this feeling for so long. And if you feel like I feel, baby, then come on. Oh, come on. Woo. Let's get it on. Let's get it on. Let's love, baby. Let's get it on. Sugar, let's get it on. Ooh, we're all sensitive people. We're so
All right, back here at 98.5, the Sports Hub. Caller number 10 right now to our contest line, 617-931-0985. Score a pair of tubing passes for Neshoba Valley Ski Area. Spend your February vacation skiing, tubing, dining, dancing, and celebrating by the fireplace at Boston's own Winter Playland. Neshoba Valley Ski Area in Westford, Mass. Get your passes at skineshoba.com. Skaz dropping in a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Who else knows what we have tonight? So we just did the giveaway. We got to do musings tonight. I got a bunch of them for you, and we're going to do that next. I'm Joe Murray here on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Don't go anywhere. There's more Joe Murray. More Joe Murray. Solak and Bertrand get you through the midday. Joe Murray gets you right through the night.
I actually spoke with women today.
On the Sports Hub.
Money, gifts, extravagant dates, emphasis on relationships. Are singles included or excluded? There's so many unrealistic expectations. What's considered a perfect day? The commercialism, comparisons, couples, celebrations, feelings, stress, anxiety. Where is the genuine connection anymore? It's too commercialized. There is too much pressure. It's cliche. The planning, stressful. And it's like you're focusing on romantic love. One, you all agree with me. Disclaimer, love. All the stuff I said about commercialism and pressure and unrealistic expectations and comparisons and cliches and stressful, and it's all true. And you've all been there. And I'm connecting with you all because it's true. And for the people that are watching us right now on YouTube, you're home right now. Corporate mandated romance. Yes, Brandon in our chat. See, brokerage babe, I know you. You don't need this. You just need yourself. You don't need anything. You don't need it. Nobody needs it. You might be sad you're alone, but you don't. That was all feelings right there. I remember my first Valentine's Day. Not the Sacred Heart or the Rump Shaker or any of that growing up. But me and my friends in high school, I think we were freshmen or sophomores, can't remember. 8 of us brought our date. So a table of 16 at Vinny T's in Dedham. We all split the bill. Then one night I go, hey, why don't I take somebody out to Cambridge, Mass? Out. Going out on Valentine's Day? Out. You know why I don't like it? Fixed menus. Out on fixed menus. Out. Fixed menus. Out. You're paying $75 for noodles. Here's another thing. Out on engagements. Out on getting married. Out on asking anybody out. Out on Valentine's Day. Out. Disclaimer. Love. I want your love. I love. Not Valentine's Day. By the way, flowers. Winston Flowers was a great sponsor. Thank you, guys. But the only flower guy I think of is Fergie from the town. You want to buy flowers from that guy? I love. Love. I want your love. You know that I want you. You know that I need you. I want you bad. I want your love and I want your revenge. That's called Bad Romance, guys. You ever heard that song before?
Oh, yeah.
Just like,
might be working that one in.
I want your love and I want your revenge. Bad romance. Anyways, anything else? You like Valentine's Day? Is this did I nail it? Did I nail? Like, do you know how many people I tried to get guests for tonight? I'm going out,
Joe. We were trying.
I can't tonight, Joe. I'm going to see Bobby Bublé or whoever the hell it was.
Bobby Bublé?
Whoever it was.
Ricky Bobby Bublé?
Yes. No, this is the excuses I was getting tonight. You can just tell me it's Valentine's Day. You have plans, bro. Disclaimer, I love love. I love love.
Joe, I don't think that needs a disclaimer.
No, but when I went on and on about commercialism and pressure and...
I'm out on the fixed menu as well.
Out on fixed menus.
I knew that one would bother you.
I don't want $75 for noodles.
You want your choices, Joe.
I want choices and I'll pay for them all. What do you think the drinks cost tonight? How many fights tonight? How many fights?
You can't fight on Valentine's Day.
Oh, you know what I heard? This is funny. By the way, I have a bunch of musings. I didn't even get to them. This is off the cuff.
You saw something, Joe.
Oh, so Tuesday, I guess, was called Red Tuesday. I guess people that are in relationships break up with people on Tuesday so they don't have to deal with Valentine's Day.
You got to save a buck.
Yeah, exactly. But I didn't know there was a thing.
I have a... not a Valentine's Day story, Joe, but I did something in my youth that, not a major regret or anything like that, but kind of funny looking back, is I had a girlfriend in, 5th, 6th grade, whatever it was, and Christmas was coming up, Joe, which is my birthday as well, the 23rd. And a very nice young girl was nice enough to get me gifts and go all out. And instead of just being a normal, young child, I was too embarrassed or nervous or whatever you want to call it to tell my dad that I had a girlfriend. So I just broke up with her and told her to keep all the gifts. Because that's...
Oh, you're one of those guys who can't be mean.
Awful.
You didn't want to hurt her.
No, I think I did. She was very upset.
No, she was upset.
Yeah, very upset.
Disclaimer, you weren't trying to be.
No, I
just didn't want to accept the gifts and have the pressure.
I just didn't want my dad to,
and you didn't want your dad to
pick
know.
on me. Yeah.
Scazzo, what's her name?
Exactly.
What are you guys watching? If you're holding hands, hey, son, let's have the talk.
I was avoiding it at all costs to the point I caused emotional distress to a young girl that didn't deserve it.
Dude, I feel you on that. I hate putting people out of their way. And when people go out of their way for me, now I just accept it. But there's still this thing like, oh, you're so nice. Why did you do that? You're so nice. I know how you feel right there. That's relatable.
Yeah, now I look back on it and I think she got me Celtics tickets or something like that too in 5th or 6th grade. And I just couldn't tell my dad.
But now you think about it, your dad.
Yeah, he would have just
wouldn't
laughed.
have said a thing.
No, he wouldn't have cared at all. He would have been like, finally. He would have.
He was like, hey, tell her to make me something too.
Yeah, exactly.
But girls do that.
No, it was very thoughtful.
But they would have done. She would have done that too.
Just simply wasn't ready.
She would have given you your Celtics tickets, and she would have gotten him the conversation hearts. Right?
It's a bad guy. Bad guy.
All right, this is what I had for my musings tonight. The city of New York has gotten a new area code. I don't know if you ever saw Seinfeld, but Elaine, not a fan of that. Not to mention Sex in the City when they gave Carrie a new phone number. If nobody remembers, spoiler alert, but in case you didn't watch Sex in the City, Carrie was going to marry Big, and then Big stood her up. Spoiler.
Joe, you're a big Sex in the City guy, right?
The show is unbelievable.
Yeah, yes.
No, it's not. I think the show is geared towards men, not women. That's my own opinion. But you have to understand, during the heyday of television, Sopranos, Sex in the City, back to back, dude. Imagine that. And we didn't have Twitter, and we would talk at a water cooler after about it. But yes, so Carrie ended up they threw her phone in the ocean, and she just didn't talk to anybody. She got left at the altar, and she was, it was pretty embarrassing. So when she got a new phone, she needed a new phone. It wasn't the same area code. So that's got to be tough. You live in New York, but they changed the area code on you. I'm out. Right? 347-718-917. Now you're down to 929.
We got to get our guy George on this. He's the area codes expert. What's George think of this?
We have to do this bit. All right. So right now, I know we're in the All-Star break. We have to put that on the board. Maybe after Celtics season. We need to do a George zip code by town. It would be amazing. We've been talking about this for a while. What else did I have? Anyways, that's hard on a woman. It's hard on anybody, really, to lose their zip code. The other thing I wanted to mention was I was with Luis, who's our custodian, and I wanted him to watch the video with me to tell me, because it was in Spanish, so I needed to find out what was said. But the ocean is very terrifying, everybody. Did anyone see the kayaker that was swallowed whole by a humpback whale, but then somehow the whale spit him back out? Well, I had video in the... So Luis broke it down for me, and he was swallowed by a whale. And the dad videotaped the whole entire thing, by the way, and told Mijo, tranquil, calm down. So then he picked him up, and then he goes, we'll be fine once we get back in. So the dude's freaking out. He just got swallowed by a whale and spit out. Wonder if anybody else getting swallowed by a whale tonight and spit back out. Anyways, what else do we... I didn't... Anything else on Valentine's Day, Skaz?
Nope.
I'm Joe Murray. You're listening to 98.5 The Sports Hub.
From the Town Fair Tech Studios,
This is your home for every Patriots game.
Look into the end zone, trying to keep the play alive. Falling down, he goes to the end zone. It's caught. He's got it. Touchdown.
WBZFM at HD Boston. 98.5 The Sports Hub.
a Beasley Media Group station.
Essential Sports Hub headline presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
Headlines are brought to you by NetSuite, by Oracle. Companies of all sizes have harnessed the power of NetSuite by Oracle and AI to improve forecasting, planning, and customer support. Uncover insightful, profit-driving recommendations for your business today. Learn more at netsuite.com/Celtics. I'm Joe Murray, and I think I'm in trouble. I would start with, what women love? Size.
Some people play the game.
Hey, Jaylen Brown. Pritchard. By Horford.
Some talk about
Let's
it.
welcome to the Sports Hub Celtics show, by the way. Jim Murray, Chris Gasper.
The Sports Hub Celtics Show with Murray and Gasper. Saturdays at noon on the Sports Hub.
Oh, we didn't even hear from Stephen A yet, have we? Oh. As Caleb Williams will tell you, he's used to no protection. Will you be my Scalentine? Drake, may I ask you out? I've seen a bunch of these today, guys. This goes out to a couple others that I've seen today. Your Purdy, Brock Purdy. You're number one overall in my heart. I, Jordan, love you. Pick six me, Cooper DeJean. I could keep going, but I won't. Phone number here is 617-779-0985. Valentine's Day names. Athletes: Kevin Love, Derek Rose, Josh Hart, Denzel Valentine, Diamond Stone, Brandon Flowers, Mark Loving, Michael Olowokandi, Pete Rose, Fred Couples, Jose Valentine, Jason White Chocolate Williams, Romeo Miller, a.k.a. Little Romeo. Just to give you a nice little touch for Valentine's Day. Let's go to the phones here. We got Joe in Maine. Hey, Joe.
Hey, I know you guys are a little lonely, but I got a great Valentine's Day story, if you don't mind. 30 seconds. I literally fought a fire this morning and then worked all afternoon, and right now I am dog sitting for people that needed to go out on Valentine's Day and actually work the service industry, which I thought you would appreciate, because it's one of those days where the service industry people need a little shout out.
Oh, I'm down with the service people, man. But the service people have the night off on Valentine's Day. They don't want to work that day.
No. They're working right now. I'm dog sitting.
Oh, because they are working.
Yes, at 1,000%. House sitting and dog sitting.
What kind of dog is it?
It's a mastiff.
Ooh, it's a big boy, huh?
Oh yeah, no, big girl actually.
Big girl.
Oh yeah, she's like on top of me right now.
Does it want treats?
Oh yes, treats, pawing, just literally destroyed a toy. Maybe frustrated because mom and dad aren't home, but I'm just being the surrogate dad, you know?
Dude, it all pays itself forward, my man.
Oh, yeah, no. And like, listen, Portland, Maine, actually, the restaurant industry is huge.
Love
and you
Portland,
know it.
Maine. Where you at? Where you going? Where they going?
Well, I'm home. They're at a place called Yoked right now.
Oh, yeah, I know Yoked very well, yes.
It's actually a little bit outside of Portland.
Do you know what's great out there? You ever been to the Lobster Roller?
The Lobster Roller? Where's that at?
Oh, what is the name of that place? Well, Duck Fat's my favorite.
Well, Duck Fat, French fries, serious, right?
Oh my God!
If you look, it's better than Belgium. It's better than Europe to go there. Is the Lobster Roller at Cape Elizabeth?
I can't. I'm trying to remember. No, it's right in downtown. The High Roller Lobster.
Oh, the High Roller. Okay,
dude,
gotcha.
Do you know that they make lobster tails on a stick, kind of like teriyaki, but it's lobster. It's a lobster tail.
1,000%. Yep. And it's skewered lobster, basically.
Oh.
And I know you're a butter guy. I go mayo lobster roll, to be fair. But if I'm going to go skewer, I'm definitely going butter.
Portland's a hell of a town, man. Like it's so good to just it's expensive for a hotel, but for a weekend, that's great out there.
It's quite good, and if you, I heard you earlier. You do Valentine's Day on Wednesday. You don't do it on Friday. You don't.
Damn right.
You don't. You do it. You get with your partner and you do it like on the off night. I mean, I'm the guy who actually also always hits you up for North Shore beef because I was born in Lawrence, raised in New Hampshire, and now I live in Maine. So it's that migration, and it's definitely. I mean, the only thing we don't have up here is North Shore beef. We just don't have it. Sucks.
I know.
I want to open a three-way somewhere, and just call it three-way on the sign.
Ooh. Well, my buddy owns a dispensary in Scarborough, and I like to go up there a lot.
Yeah, so it's 12 minutes away, exactly.
Oh. Well,
you
best
personally,
buds if you ever get over there.
And you would love the beach. The beach, it's cold water.
In Portland?
No, Scarborough.
Oh, Scarborough. Okay, I've never been to the beach in Scarborough.
Killer beaches, because I know what you always talk North Shore beaches, so to speak.
Oh yeah, I live on the North Shore, so I love it out there. Yep.
No, you would really dig it. I mean, and the other nice thing about hotels in Portland or Scarborough, Cape Elizabeth, everyone's got a hot tub and a heated pool going in the winter. Not bad.
Not bad at all. Appreciate you, Joe. Hey,
what's up?
Dogs need love too on Valentine's Day.
I'll send you a photo on Twitter right now. This dog is up me. She's on me. And
dog lovers.
And she's gonna go outside and eat some snow right now. So
just don't eat the yellow snow.
No.
Thank you, Joe. I lost it, dude. I lost it. JP, what do you got going on for Valentine's Day?
Well, Joe, I had to pull over. What are you going to play, Man-Eater by Hall & Oates next after that? Oh, my God, Joe.
Skaz is running it tonight.
So, we're going out tomorrow night, but I've got a tip for the listeners, and I thought maybe since you just played my favorite artist, you'd let me do a chorus of my favorite Valentine song.
Let's do it.
If possible. Tip for the listeners, Walmart's got roses, $15.99. They do not look bad at all. Got to give it a shout-out to them. They look great. And I got a little chorus for you, Joe, you might like from Sinatra if it's okay.
The floor is yours.
My funny Valentine, sweet comic Valentine, you make me smile with my heart. Your looks are laughable, unphotographable. You're my favorite work of art. And, Joe, it's been nice listening to you for a year and a half now. And, well, if you're going to go out, that was the way to go out, Joe.
Thanks, JP. No one's listening. Guys, did you say someone just called in? It was just like, I just want you to tell Joe that I love him.
We had a very, very nice call earlier, you don't often get nice calls just to send messages along, but yeah, nice woman called in earlier and said, hey, tell Joe he's the best. Yeah, tell him happy Valentine's Day. That might have been before your comments in our last segment, but I don't know.
Would you rather Walmart $15.99 roses or the guy that's handing them out at the red light near our old radio station on Morrissey Boulevard?
Yeah, give me Walmart.
Because, guys, I'm not going to lie to you. I have definitely done the guy with roses at Morrissey Boulevard. That guy's got to earn a living too, man. We're until 10 o'clock tonight. 617. I can't even say. 617-779-0985. That's the phone number if you want to jump aboard. More of the show. We got Show Me the Money at some point, too. And, well, we got more songs for you. Let's pull those heartstrings. We'll do it next here on the Sports Hub.
You're listening to Joe Murray on 98.5. Around here, we call them the Joe Murray pre-party. It's Felger and Maz afternoons right now. Joe Murray on the Sports Hub.
Some way, it don't matter what she does. Today, she gets a pass. It's about her. Outside of that, here's the thing that you have to do. Yeah, you can throw flowers. It's always good to give her a call just to let her know you're thinking about her and stuff like that. But when you see her and you look at her, you let her know that everything that you are and everything that you aspire to be is because she is that wonderful person in your life. She makes you better. And you look right at her and you make sure you tell her that. Because guess what? That's worth just as much as flowers. And it extends Valentine into the weekend. If you handle your business, life can be very, very good for you moving forward. Just remember.
I don't know how we're going to get through the next 30 minutes of this show tonight. I don't know how we're going to do it, Skaz. But that's the you laughing tonight made my night. You laughing like that. I have never seen Skaz laugh that much. And when I said, hey, Skaz, anything else? You go, nope.
Caught me off guard, Joe. Wasn't ready for that one.
I don't think I was ready for that either. Every once in a while, things just pop out of the old mouth. I've been lucky. I haven't sworn yet. Oh. We're going to play a goodie before we go to break here. I just sent it to Skaz. You can cue that bad boy up.
Not very clean, though, Joe. That's our problem here. No.
Nothing. It's clean. No.
I don't believe so, Joe.
I think it's fairly clean.
Give
it a listen. Put it in queue. Let's hear it. I'll read a couple of these that came over. I thought this was good. I already mentioned, we all like talking about farts and poo and all that kind of good stuff. Roses are red, violets are blue. You talk about poo, and I'm all into. There's a lot of them here, everybody. There's one about the Bruins in their third periods, but I can't read that one. Mine was beef, my Valentine. Give me a Porzingis. It's better than being the Scalentine. There's one of Matt Ryan that says, choke me. That's funny. Those are really funny. Nice job on those. Here we go. Yeah.
Cindy and Scott are newlyweds. Whoopity-doo!
Yeah, let's go.
He loves her.
And he goes, all right, everybody, relax. We're going to play a song for you. And Drew Barrymore is like, this sounds really familiar. I'm going to make you sad. Da-da-dee. Do-do-dee-do-do-do-do-dee. No, all I want to do. Do-do-do-do. Hey, listen, The Wedding Singer's a good movie. I don't care what anybody says.
Julia Gulia.
You're going to be Julia Gulia? Well, Robbie. Robbie's crazy. And then I woke up and she's wearing my Van Halen shirt. And Billy Idol's like, well, that could give the band bad luck. Duh. Topher, how you doing, bro?
The part I love is John Lovett sitting in the back. He's losing his mind, and I'm reaping all the benefits.
Oh, no, what song was it again? That, 'cause it's this lady's night, and the feeling's right. Oh, this is ladies' night. Oh, what a night. Oh, what a night. Shaka Khan!
Yes. He thought he was like the suave guy. Oh, my God. John Lovett, classic dude.
How you doing?
I'm doing all right. You know, making do with what I got.
Yeah.
Enjoying the night, too. Been looking at the YouTube chat. Been enjoying everything.
Yeah.
I
man
think
who
people still don't remember my new name, though.
Oh, yeah. You're Boston Concessions now.
That I am.
The guy who called in tonight about he's babysitting the dog, he sent in the dog, so I have retweeted it. And it looks like the dog is doing the crossword puzzle.
Listen, if that dog's doing a crossword puzzle, smart dog.
Somebody just says, "Hello, sir. I have a question. Do you love love? Also, could you please sing Bad Romance again?" Yes, I sang Bad Romance. I made references to whales. I've been all over the place tonight, Topher.
It's worth it, man. It's worth it. I get a question for you, and then I'll let you go, so this way you can focus on the other people.
Yeah.
Best meal you've had or made for your significant other during a Valentine's Day?
So I feel like Italian's always the best way, right? Like, I know it's cliche, but like, how many people are eating tacos on Valentine's Day? Right?
Oh, tacos a way of life.
Listen, I love tacos, but I don't want to be tooting later. You know what I'm saying?
When did this become a poop show?
About a year and a half ago.
All I want to do is talk.
Right. You know, I've made a phone call when Skaz kicks in.
Yeah, you know. I mean, I got a lot of poop lines if you need them, man. You know. You want to make some poop? I mean, hey, listen, we all love Reese's Pieces, but we all love to talk feces. Let me tell you. Hey, Topher, did you get any meats today shaped like hearts or anything like that?
No, but I did make this really cool thing that said "Beef My Valentine."
That's right. That was the one. Topher made it. I posted it on Instagram or whatever I did, Twitter.
Yep.
Well, you're good at that.
I am. I try.
Yeah, I mean, if you send them to me, I'll keep using them. If I don't like them, I won't use them. How about that?
Hey, all you got to do is give me ideas, and they come to my head.
Hey, Topher, winter, spring, summer, or fall, all you got to do is call.
And I'll be there. Yeah.
Hey, what's your favorite? What song? I asked Bird this earlier, and he went with Brian McKnight. What song puts you in your feels the most?
I'll go to the Boys to Men kick. End of the Road.
We did that.
I'm a dude, but I go Tear-Eyed Man.
End of the Road get you?
Oh yeah, that and like if you're a metal guy, Guns N' Roses November Rain, because for whatever reason that hit so hard when I was a kid.
Nothing lasts forever, and we both know hearts can change, and it's hard to hold the candle in the cold November rain.
Yep.
Do you need some time?
Axl had it good before he went nuts.
Yeah. I still like Slash just leaving the wedding early and playing the solo.
That's how it was meant to be.
All right, buddy. Thank you, sir. Have a good night.
All right, bud.
All right. I want your loving, I want your revenge, and the bad romance. I can do the dance, too, if you want me to.
I mean, Joe, we do have you singing, I believe it's Bad Love on record. Yeah, of course.
I would...
Oh, no, that's a different one.
That's another one.
Now we got bad blood. You know it used to be mad love. So take a look what you've done. Cause baby, now we got bad blood. Hey! Now we got problems. And I don't think we can solve them. You made a really deep cut. And baby, now we got bad blood. Hey!
It's bad blood. All right, we should go to break. Let's get all the other Valentine stuff out of the way. We'll end the show with Joe Me the Money. But I still want to play. Can we get another song? I want to feel it, Skaz. I know the song too. I know what song I need. I just want to be relatable for 25 seconds here. You've all seen Jerry Maguire, right? You know when he's feeling good, he's in his car and he's searching and he's looking for the song. And then he just hits. She's a good girl, loves her mama, right? And then he just gets into it. Yes, I'm free. You just need to belt it out every once in a while, right? Free falling. Like you just got to belt it out every once in a while. I got one coming up. I got one. You know what I'm talking about here, right, Skis? But you know what I'm talking about, that scene in Jerry Maguire, right? It's just like you're looking for something to just belt out to. Sometimes when you're in your feels, you got to just do it. All right, we'll hit the last headline of the night. I'm Joe Murray. You're on the Sports Hub.
Sports Hub headlines presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
All right, well, Skaz has Indiana and I have UCLA. So UCLA is winning 57-50. Headlines are brought to you by Safety Insurance, providing comprehensive coverage for your auto, home, and business. Ask your independent agent about safety. I'm Joe Murray, and love, 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 I want your love.
More Joe Murray coming up on the Sports Hub.
Clogged drain never happens at a good time. John Sewer and Drain Cleaning, with over 50 technicians on the road at locations in Woburn and Norwood, can be at your location fast. Call John Sewer on call 24/7 since 1976. Visit johnsewer.com.
Hey, it's Maz with a message from our sponsor, BetterHelp. You ever hear someone say, well, that's a red flag? Of course you have. Well, BetterHelp wants you to know there are also green flags, which you should be able to see when finding people in situations that are right for you. And that's why I'm here to tell you about BetterHelp, the world's largest online therapy service, also an affordable, convenient way to start your journey to a healthier you. With BetterHelp, you can get therapy in the comfort of your own home, and you can do it virtually on your schedule. Now, if you've never experienced therapy, there are
gotta love the nines.
Everybody knows Joe.
Just keeps getting better.
Joe Murray on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Oh, baby. It's against all odds. That's the chance you got to take. One more, Skaz. One more before we go to break. One more. Because this one came out in the, I think, late 90s. Very relatable. I played Goo Goo Dolls earlier, and I believe I saw this band with Goo Goo Dolls years ago. Yeah.
There's more Joe Murray.